It's the DSP Super Show, ladies and gentlemen. By God! It's been, what, a decade? It's been, what, 20 fucking years since they managed to get this guy on the hook, answering for his crimes. But they managed to do it. They managed to get Darkside Phil a full interview. These two faggots. Those two faggots right there are literally the fucking Frost Nixon of our times. I can scarcely believe that the sector is starting to heat up again. That we're finally getting a sit-down interview with DSP that's at least 5 hours long. By God! My arrival might well be imminent. But don't just take my word for it, folks. Sit-down interview with DSP. It's at least 5 hours long. That's me. By God! What is that? My arrival might well be imminent. Have we returned? Does there echo? Are the whales returned? Okay, we're back. It's been about 30 fucking years since they managed to get DSP on the hook. Wriggling away. But we finally got him. And like I say, this Sidescrollers podcast, I don't know what this is. A gay up? Because Phil, he joins the podcast, he says, I've watched every single episode and this is why I want on. And you know what, guys? You know, I'm the most hated guy on the internet. I'm Darkside Phil, of all people. They have no idea, really, do they? Or do they? Did they know what was coming? Did they know the fruit that this would bring? Because this truly is. It's one of the moments of the sector where history is made, folks. It's been a while since Darkside Phil cropped up on anyone's fucking radar. But if you don't know, you should know. He's 14 years and still going strong. He was established 2008. And, you know, I'ma say it right now. Antediluvian King. And what the interview is an exploration on how to behave as an antediluvian king in the current year. It's a masterclass in being a scumbag, being evasive, being caught in lies, and just doubling down on it anyway. The interview also gives us a surprise IBS cameo from fucking Keemstar. Thank fuck those two titans can now go at it. But 14 years and still going strong. Don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it, because 24 minutes ago, DSP ain't heard no bell. He ain't heard that bell. Many people have attempted to force him to hear the fucking chimes of the bell. But the bell doth not toll for DSP. So, I did have a vision for this one. What I want to do, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what's inside the interview. We'll cover as much of this interview as we possibly can. Bear in mind, it's 5 hours long. But by the time we reach the end of our analysis, or at the end of our masterclass on how to behave as an antediluvian king in the sector, you will be fully prepared to also behave this way. You will also be fully conversant with not only who DSP is, but how to be the next DSP, if you so wish, need samurai. So I did have something lined up, so bear with. What you can hear in the background is DSP's stream as he's going now. Level 1. You know. And as you can see, there's all of the pay pigs still loyal. Still fucking loyal. Well, the guy might have 202,000 subscribers. There's only ever below 400 people watching the poor guy. In fact, for a while, there was about 50 people watching. It's tough. It's real tough. So let's get into our vision for this. And we shall begin. We shall begin in earnest. So we don't need DSP. I am so we're gonna dip into the future of the podcast. What it served up. Why is Godwinson so jacked on this shit? It's been 20 years. This better fucking deliver. Well, trust me, it does. It's Darkside Phil riding back into town, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. Caught on the hook for 5 fucking hours. These two faggots, objectively, the terminology that can be applied to these two, managed to deliver something that none of the blood drinkers could. None of the A-logs could. None of the threads could. No, faggot was able to deliver what these two fags managed to get 5 hours of DSP, not but 2 days ago, with Keemstar in as well. By God. All right, let's dip into the future. Let me show you why I'm so jacked on this shit. So, this is what I need.
Not your account at all, and they were
So,
right.
It's been a long time coming getting answers for this. It's been a long time fucking coming. If you don't know, you should know. Bank statements, bankruptcy. By God. But you've never seen mental gymnastics. This is a display of such. This is how to behave as an antediluvian king. If you were established in 2008, if you're not still behaving like a complete scumbag and lying at every opportunity about your own financial circumstance, you just ain't doing it right, folks. So I'm going to dip into the future. I'm going to show you why I'm so jacked. And then we'll get into the meat and taters of Sidescrollers. Frost Nixon interview. What is this? This is like up there with the greats. So here we go. There's a clip from the interview itself.
And there have been, according to these leaks, there have been...
The leaked bank statements is what they're referring to. Okay? Of highlighting his bankruptcy.
Hundreds of transactions to the Apple Store. Some many over hundreds of dollars that have been there.
Guy who's pled poverty since 2008, already on the fucking hook. Guys, like, according to these leaked bank statements, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars have been spent just on the Apple Store. And DSP, with his my bills, my $10 Hulu and shit like this, is just sat there like, just like.
According to these leaks, there have been dozens, hundreds of transactions to the Apple Store.
Get him.
Some many over hundreds of dollars that have been there. Were those your transactions?
Were those your transactions, DSP?
So
he just goes, no. What a king. He just goes, no. They were deep fakes. It was photoshopped. I don't know what you mean, Your Honor. She said she was 12.
So those were over hundreds of dollars that have been there. Were those your transactions? No. To the Apple Store. Some many over hundreds of dollars that have been there. Were those your transactions? No.
Based. That's how it's done, folks. That's how it's done. When you're confronted with just... undeniable truth of your own scumbaggery. Undeniable. You are 4 things, and all of those 4 things include pieces of shit. Just no. Even after nodding along, just go, no. 'Twasn't me. 'Twasn't me. 'Twasn't me. You might be thinking, surely this ain't it. Surely it's not the whole thing. 5 hours of shit like this. I can scarcely believe it. It's like all my Christmases came at once. It literally wasn't him. Don't know what you're talking about.
Those, that had been there. Were those your transactions?
No.
No.
So those were not tied to you at all?
No.
Nuh-uh.
Okay, the bank leaks.
The bank leaks. Now, if you're a DSPA log and you've been drinking the guy's blood for like 100 years or some shit, did you ever think you'd get him on a show like this, where he actually says the words, the bank leaks, and then will give an answer regarding the bank leaks? I am truly astonished that this is the timeline that we're finding ourselves within. I'm amazed. I genuinely didn't. I mean, this is up there with like, it's the 26th of December, 2023, and Warski has finally decided to do a flip. Let's bust out the candles and celebrate this one. Maybe this is the best timeline. Maybe this isn't hell on earth.
Now we have to get into the identity theft thing, okay?
Well, let's just talk about the bank leaks first.
Press him.
They're tied to that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, they go hand in hand. Those bank
Go ahead,
leaks,
explain it to him.
sure, the bank leaks are not accurate. Those are not...
The bank leaks are not accurate. They were
So
forgeries.
it's the person who took your identity was spending money on in the Apple Store?
Yeah, so someone stole DSP's identity and decided to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on the Apple Store.
No, that's not my account at all.
Not his account.
Whatever
So-
that
Nah.
is not me. That's
Wasn't
not
him.
me. Or it's someone else's account. I don't know who.
Don't know what you're talking
That's
about,
not
Your
my
Honor.
account that was leaked. I've had a lot of issues that happened with identity theft that same summer, but they used that to run with some kind of this crazy conspiracy theory.
It was a conspiracy theory. It was the bumblebees and yesterday's
So you're
Enterprise
saying-
and the super
just so we're on
soldiers.
the same page. You're saying that
Press him.
this account
Get him, faggot.
that is not yours, that had thousands of dollars
He's sure.
of fees to the Apple Store consistently, that are these amounts just happen to tie to exact amounts.
Guy's a better
Game
fucking
numbers.
lawyer than Nick Risotto ever could be, isn't he? This absolute faggot with this going on in the background. A fucking pinball machine. Whatever that is. I know it's a skateboard, but it looks like some sort of skeletonized tampon. Guy with the American flag. And, you know, he's the apex of Americana right there. Better lawyer than Risotto ever could be. Pressing DSP? This is closer than we're ever going to receive. We're never going to get a public trial for DSP. I'm sorry, blood drinkers, but it's never going to happen. The closest you're going to get is 5 hours of these two fags roasting PPP and nailing him to the cross.
Talking about WWE champions, and it's a game that you also play. Just so we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
You're saying that
WWE Champions, a game you also play, that you spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on through the App Store while you were crying about poverty and my bills. The coincidental, don't you think? DSP. People are saying DSP Godwinson interview when? Well, it looks like he's doing the rounds because apparently there's going to be a DSP Review Tech USA interview. All of the timelines are converging. We're having the ultimate crossover event tonight. That's why we're doing this one now. Because these two are going to finally do it. It's been 100 years, folks.
it's not your account at all, and they were unsuccessful in hacking your bank account.
They did not hack my bank account. They did not have access to my bank account.
Slippery words. They did not hack his bank account and they did not have access to his bank account. But notice how he doesn't say that the leaks were all completely fake. That's just a dip into that future. Obviously, Keemstar comes on. This is another clip that I just want to preview the whole thing with before we get into the whole shebang, as it were. Okay. So take note. This is a few hours in. The antediluvian king shit just is wearing a bit thin, but they've persevered. This is probably about 4.5 hours into this whole thing.
All right. I'm the kind of guy that if I can help it, I won't shop at Walmart. Okay? Why? I hate that company. Has destroyed small businesses, little towns. Right?
DSP slums it, is what he's saying. He doesn't slum it, is what he's saying. He's a true antediluvian king, and he's got fine tastes. Caviar, Rolex watches, Bentleys. The finest of all things. Cuban cigars, you better fucking believe it. But it's not because he sees Walmart as complete peasantry. It's because he's taking a moral stand against Walmart. Walmart is a big-ass corporation. And it's the devil. It crushes the little guy. And that's this. This is a cope that will sort of preface a lot of the copes you'll see in the rest of the interview, where a moral stand smears itself amongst the actual opinion that DSP has and the lifestyle he lives. But don't take my word for it.
I hate that company. Is destroying small. I'm the kind of guy that if I can help it, I won't shop at Walmart. Okay? Why? I hate that company. Is destroying small businesses, little towns. Right? Now, everyone shops at Walmart because that's the best price. If I can help it, I will. Once in a while, I go there. But for the most part, I can't. That's the kind of guy I am. Maybe it's a huge flaw with me. Right?
It's a flaw.
But
he's a moral man.
Money, I would feel like taking a paycheck from Keemstar is kind of like blood money. That's money he made on the backs of people, drama content he put out, people he's hurt to earn it. I'm not going to do that.
Base Darkside Phil and Antediluvian King are still holding the fucking line on not taking Keem's money. Keem's been trying to give him a fucking donkey for like the past 20 fucking years. Keem's been trying to get this guy on a podcast with Boogie and Wings of Redemption for a fucking hefty donkey there. But DSP says no. No. Keemstar's money, it's blood money. He's just like Walmart. He's the devil. He's a peasant. And therefore, no matter how broke it gets, no matter how many times he's begging to pay my bills, he will not be taking Keem's blood money. What a fucking king. Never compromise. These two guys wish they could take Keem's money. These two are thirsty as fuck for Keem's money. DSP, whilst he may be thirsty, he will not be drinking from Keem's water bottle.
Did you start your career on like drama and hate?
But not people. I will say
Got him.
I never.
Got him.
If I could help it.
Didn't you build your whole shebang, Darkside Phil, on drama of hate? Don't you call yourself the king of hate? Aren't you all of those things? Are you just a massive hypocrite, DSP? And a true antediluvian king won't take that rolling over. True antediluvian king will just clarify, correct the record. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. He's the king of hating evil. He's the light bringer. The true power of the truth. Established 2008.
People in the Street Fighter community, like that's who you said you were targeting.
Oh, okay, that's different. And here's the thing. You're right.
How is that different?
It's different because I've changed now.
He's changed.
Talk about this in documentaries about.
He has changed. He's the king of love. Darkside Phil, a changed man. And as you'll see in the 5 hours that follow this clip, the change is only really there to deflect away from hard questions from these two pressing faggots. They're not taking it. The guy's laughing at the responses. DSP's shook.
I'm sorry, you sound like the abusive ex-boyfriend trying to get back with his girl.
No.
Don't worry about it.
Adam, you're talking about something that happened the first time.
I know. I'm just calling it as I said. It just sounds funny, like hearing that. that I changed now. That line is.
I'm changed.
I don't know.
Born again.
I was an
Wrong
online
people.
troll in the Street Fighter community. Absolutely. There was online harassment that happened. Absolutely. I've learned from that.
He's learned.
I've been through it myself now. And I realized
He's been through it himself.
why you would never do it. Especially when you're
And that's a changed man. Whilst he was an online troll in the Street Fighter community many, many moons ago, he's a changed man because he's lived through that. He's lived through what no man really has truly lived through in this sector. No one has truly been fucking pillarized to the point where DSP has anyone really received the DSP journey? They're trying to do it to Ralph. Ralph's sort of holding his own, but no one has quite had them on their backs every fucking day since 2008. Leaking bank records. Going after whatever lover he's got in his life at this present time. No one has quite ever been through the ring as many times, has heard that bell as many times and say, no, I do refuse to hear that. I do not acknowledge the bell. No one has yet walked through DSP's shoes. I don't think anyone ever will. No one will certainly come out fighting in the way that DSP does. So, what I want to do with this one, I just want to show you a brief history of Phil's relationship with the Ensler to play us in. This bears fruit later.
But a couple others as well. Basically, behaved badly on YouTube. And at the very same time that they behaved badly and got into big trouble, like PewDiePie saying the N-word blatantly on YouTube, and it wasn't like, oh, I misspoke and it sounded like I said it, I didn't mean it. No, he outright said it and meant it the way he said it in his video, okay? It's the funniest shit ever, I swear to God. He accidentally calls Hulk Hogan a nigger. And I'm not trying to be racist or anything. It's the funniest clip ever. You gotta watch it on YouTube.
Ever.
It's Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga. And then he looks all embarrassed because he realized he did it, and he tries to turn away and walk away. It's the funniest clip ever. Nick Gers is asking. Oh my God, it's a freaking racist idiot. But anyway, you asked me if I played any mode versus besides war, and the answer is no, because I can't even play anything else. All right, nigga, it's time. Oh, that's terrible. When stationary, negative 75% damage, that's really bad. Uh-oh. Well, I might have been banned. Yep. Looks like I have been banned from Twitch, because I can't broadcast to it. Hateful slurs or symbols. I didn't do a hateful slur or symbol. Nigger. Game Checker just did another $10. I'm compelled to tip you again for another epic moment. Also, we get to see Jingle All the Way animation again. Yes. Arnold feels a nigger, right?
That's what that one's waiting, Gator. That one's in the chamber, Gator. So bear with. Do I still have an eye? Can I still see? I think so. All right, let's begin. Let's begin in earnest, folks. So it's the Sidescroller interview with DSP. We've got Craig and Adam pressing DSP in the chat. Grab a beer, grab a beverage. Kev, if you're on your 8th joint, spark up a knife. Because this is about to get real fucking good. maybe stop bopping around to top loader and just listen to this.
What is what's a day like look for you? Like when you wake up, what is your average day like? Walk me through a day of Phil.
Give me a day in the life of Darkside Phil. Give me a day in the life.
Like when you from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep.
Usually I don't wake up. Usually my cat wakes me up.
Based. Already that's the most base thing that you could possibly say. Usually I don't wake up because I've been up all night streaming and I wake up maybe in the fucking late afternoon. Usually my cat has to wake me up because my cat needs feeding and it's starving to death. And I'm just a neglectful pet owner. This is how it's done. Potential antediluvian kings of this sector.
And, I get out of bed and get ready for the day. Just like a normal person. Shower or eat breakfast, have a coffee, do chores around the house quick. Depends on the day, because some days my wife's at work, some days she's not.
This is the best thing. Because what Phil is trying to do in this Sidescrollers interview, he's trying to, present himself as the everyman. He's just a normal guy, regular Joe. And he's not DSP. He's just a man who's fallen into this web of intrigue, lies, this sector. I mean, it could happen to anyone. Usually he just wakes up, has a shower, tends to his cat, drinks a coffee, he's waiting for his wife to come home from work. That might be ringing alarm bells. Why is the wife going out and working? But you're getting the image here that he's just a normal Joe. Just a regular Joe. He's not DSP at all. He's the everyman.
Jumping to the office here.
The office.
Time-wise,
This is his office. You've got the last boss from Super Mario Brothers. You've got a Pac-Man ghost. I actually don't know what that is. I don't know what it refers to. But that's his office. There's his office here. He gets in the office and he goes to work like every man, like a regular Joe. It's Punch-Out. Okay, it's Punch-Out. It's a Punch-Out cutscene. I wasn't aware that Punch-Out had cutscenes.
Get up between 8, 9 a.m.
He gets up at 8, 9 a.m.
I get to the office
Extra dark.
between 10, 10:30 a.m. I'm setting up for my stream for the day. I'm reading news off of Twitter to try to have news stories for everyone to talk about on my podcast, which I do every day. My stream usually goes on by 10:45 a.m. my time. We do a little bit of pre-stream, get some people on the stream for about 15, 20 minutes, play some music or whatever. And then I do what I call the Level 1 podcast. This is about an hour,
Level
hour
1.
and a half long show where it's just discussion.
Every single hour of DSP's life is accounted for, and none of it exists within the real world. It's all online. It's all a stream, or it's reading Twitter, or it's... If we believe the lie that he's waking up 8 till 9 a.m., and, you believe that he's walking into that office and literally shackling himself to that computer, gaining experience of how to be an antediluvian king online. Not one moment really, apart from a brief interface of how he grabs a coffee and maybe showers, relates to a real world event that would happen or befall every man waking up in the real world and doing this shit. He scarcely believes that a typical day in the life of Phil has resulted in this. There's a man who's lost any semblance of a real world self, of a real self, and he's just DSP now. He's digitized. I mean, I would very, very, very question reality if DSP was in front of me. I'd question if he was made of flesh and blood. I'd think it was just a digital projection like they do with Elvis or Tupac now.
A wide variety of topics, whether it's my gaming schedule for the next week, whether it's special events coming up, getting feedback from my viewers on how you like the things I'm currently doing, news stories, all kinds of stuff. This is something I just started about a year to a year and a half ago that I didn't used to do, and I realized this is meaningful that I should be doing in my content.
Meaningful.
So I do the podcast. Usually the podcast ends around 12:30ish Pacific time.
It's a bit rich as well if you're a DSPA log and you've been drinking the guy's blood for 100 years. The fact that he's just said there he takes on board your criticisms and your feedback fuels him and all of this shit. The fact that he's there taking all your comments aboard and improving the show with it. He's... But I don't know, these two aren't really buying it, but they're giving him enough rope to hang himself with.
Minutes break, then we start with gameplay. So we'll do about a 3 to 4 hour gameplay stream. Game as we talked, a wide variety, and I have a set schedule I do every day. I'll post it up everywhere on my socials so people know what I'm doing. That gameplay will usually run about 3-4 hours. Then when that's done, I have to upload all that content, so another half an hour roughly setting up uploads or whatever. And then usually I spend, if my wife's home from work, I'll spend about an hour with my wife having dinner.
1 hour with his wife. Based. 1 hour with his wife. Maybe. If she's in. If he's not asleep. If he's not streaming or uploading or reading his Twitter or thinking of ways to grift. 1 hour with his wife. What a fucking king. This is how it's done, boys. This is how it's straight to business. No fucking around. Just straight in the fucking office.
Running errands around the house.
Doing chores.
Anything I can squeeze between streams. I'm right back on stream again.
Anything you can squeeze between streams. So usually if you've been watching Phil, there's maybe about 5-20 minutes between any stream. If that. And then at that point, he's running around the house like the Flash, doing chores, feeding his cat, spending 1 hour with his wife, eating the dinner, and then saying goodbye. I need to go back to the office. I need to go back to work. I'm a squeeze it in.
Around 6:30, I'm in the office again, and I'm streaming again for another 2 to 3 hour gameplay stream. The late night streams are more chill streams. What I say is the daytime streams are more. Let's say there's a major new game coming out. In a few weeks we have Resident Evil. Actually, next week Resident Evil 4 remake. That'll be my daytime streams. That's the one everyone wants to see. More people can watch usually on an earlier time.
People want to see you be unable to play the game, Phil. People want to see you ban us all in chat, Phil. People want to see you beg for money, Phil. People want to ask questions about where your wife is, Phil. We can't wait for that Resident Evil 4 remake stream, you better believe it. It's the daytime. It never ends. I'm ready. And my body's ready. I'm ready. Phil's ready.
On the first stream. My late night streams are chill. You just want to relax with me. You don't care about rage. You don't care about a new game. You just want to relax with me.
It's just a chill stream of begging for money.
6:45 p.m. every day. And that runs about 2-3 hours, and it's just chill gameplay. It's not about the gameplay. It's about me talking with my audience. And if there's gameplay, great. We'll advance with the game, but it's more just relaxing. And then when that's done, that stream probably runs till around 9:30 p.m. Then I got to upload. And then, of course, I'm closing down for the day, setting up streams for the next. I'm probably out of my office.
Neat Samurai. What I'm asking for is just some creative input from one of you. I want you to look back. So the timestamp is this. Go back about 5 minutes. Go back, and I want you, this is your task, your mission, should you choose to accept it. The assignment will explode in 5 seconds upon reading. But I want you to place all of the events of Phil's typical day in the life into a Gantt chart. Everything he's just outlined there. And I want to see if there's any gaps in the time that he can spend on his real life at all. I want to see the Gantt chart, folks. I want it produced. And hopefully someone can produce it by the end of the stream and we can show it on Twitter. I mean, we need to Gantt chart this shit. We need to project manage DSP. Find out where it's all going. It's the only way we can truly help our antediluvian king, isn't it?
Between 10 to 11 p.m. So all in all, we were talking workday-wise. My workday starts roughly around 9:30, 10 a.m. and ends around 10 to 11 p.m.
Workaholic.
After that, I maybe have an hour to spend with my wife and relax at night.
Maybe an hour. Maybe has an hour to spend with his wife. So on the Gantt chart, I think there's 2 hour slots in the middle of the day and maybe at the end of the day where he can spend some quality time with his latest woman. That's pretty fucking based. That's pretty fucking based. If you don't produce the Gantt chart, it pretty much is the case that Phil's already got the Gantt chart and you better believe he's wheeling it out. He's wheeling it out to Kat or whoever it is this month. Every time she's demanding him to do anything around the house or spend some quality time with her, he just wheels out the Gantt chart and says, look, bitch, my time is valuable. And I simply can't fit you in. There just ain't no slot for your slot. Ho.
Watch a movie, watch a TV show or whatever. And, and then chores around the house, time for bed, and on to the next day.
On to the next day.
That's my life.
7 days a week. That's commitment.
And that's been his life. That's been his day in the life since 2008. Antediluvian Kings, to truly become a king of the sector. Someone that people will remember when, they're all grown up and they're making content of their own. You need to put the fucking time in. You need to get the Phil grind set going. 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, no stopping. Even if they're leaking your bank statements, wanting to drink your blood, even if they're harassing whoever your love interest is of this month, even if they're deplatforming you or whatever the fuck, you got to commit to the grind set. And don't take any cheat codes. Don't take the Keemstar Blood Money cheat code. Just commit. Stream to 300 live viewers every fucking single day on your 200,000 subscriber channel. And just keep it going. Monetize every single aspect of your life if you possibly can. Even you incompetently making meals. Just do it. Just do it. Commit to the grind set. And one day you will truly ascend to an antediluvian king as DSP is in the current year.
One day a week I take off from streaming and content creation. And that day is essentially every possible thing you can think of that I need to cram into one day. Whether that's grocery shopping, doctor's appointments, running errands, everything you can think of. Oh, by the way, that's the one day I have off to spend some time with my wife, other than an hour here and an hour there.
If you're a DSP log, right, and throughout the interview he'll talk about how he doesn't like people mentioning his wife or bringing her up or going into details of his wife or his life. DSP throughout mentions and brings up his wife. She not off the table, folks. There's no moral quandary on this one. We wouldn't know about her if DSP didn't make her known. There's the real truth bomb being dropped.
So if we're going to do something...
Don't talk about my domestically abused wife. I saved her. You better believe it.
Cram it in on that day. And that's my life.
So let me ask you this. Just based off of what you're saying right now, that doesn't seem like the most healthy lifestyle.
No.
It doesn't seem like the most conducive, from a streaming perspective.
It's not healthy. But not all of us can be kings. Craig, not all of us can be kings.
Lifestyle. Do you feel that your community and the people who donate to your streams are
Bills tips, groceries tips, Bills DoorDash, WWE champions, day in the life of Mr. Phil.
So you're saying through people showing up and supporting my streams,
Mental gymnastics time.
is that the question?
Maybe you.
Let me deliberately obfuscate the question you've just asked. Confuse you to the point where you actually don't actually remember what you've just asked because what you've just hit back with is just so bizarre. Let me get your fag co-host to ask it again, whilst I use every trick, Jedi mind trick in the book that I've acquired since 2008 to wriggle off the hook on this one.
Maybe you have a pressure that you're putting on yourself to do that because this is your only job, and then you're therefore working as much as you are because you are, working for the support that you have. So it's like cyclical. Like they come and then you're like, I need to be there.
Unfortunately, Craig succumbed to the pignosis, but Adam's holding the fort. He's trying to overcome that pignosis, but I don't know. The pignosis vibes are pretty fucking hard. He's sending it down the wire. Will he answer the question, folks? Will he answer the question in good faith?
There and then now you need to be there and do it all day. And then if they're not there for you, then it's kind of like this mental addiction almost. I mean, I've been doing YouTube for about 3 years.
Basically what they're saying, right, I'm gonna give you the on-pignosis. I'm gonna give you the pre-pignosis filter question. DSP, have you considered getting another job? That's the question. That's pre-pignosis.
And I know that it's a thing. Getting addicted to super chats, numbers, analytics. Like the way that you spoke about analytics about 20 minutes ago. Or, no, 40 minutes. I don't know, earlier in the stream.
Pignosis taking hold.
Clearly very much
Getting him questioning reality. He knows full well what he's doing. But basically the question is, consider another job, Phil.
And, attuned to it. So it's obviously on your mind.
Right. I think the biggest thing is, we talk about mental health, right? Mental health, physical health, and how they're so tied together.
He knows what he's. This is like Jedi fucking powers that you acquire. I wish I was this able to literally get people trying to get me on the hook, trying to press me, a double team, trying to fuck your ass. When you could literally just make them converse with each other as they try and formulate the question that they've got written down in front of them. But because you in your one line, where you obfuscated so much, you got them now doubting their own question sheet. You got them now doubting what it's all about. But the real reality of what it's all about, Phil, hang on, we have something lined up for this. The real reality of what it's all about, Phil, we might just, I've missed Freebird. Let's do Freebird.
Showing up on the first page of Google might not be the best for everyone.
What Phil really is, and what it's all about, take note, A-Logs. Take note, DSP centenary blood drinkers. It's about the tip goal. It's what his attitude. It's all about it every fucking stream. DSP is all about the tip goal. Sometimes, even when the tip goal overfloweth, the money's just never going to be enough. The money will never, ever, ever be enough. It's about the tip goal. It's about the hatred of losing. That's why the addiction to fucking WWE champions is so strong. That's what really motivates Phil. You ain't ever gonna sidetrack him by saying, get another job. Because this ain't a job to Phil. It's a way of life. It's a way of being. It's a way of ruling this sector uncontested.
Together, the one thing I didn't hear during there is the time to, whether work out or have time for yourself. Everything that you're doing right now seems to be from a streaming perspective, from a content perspective, right?
Hanging out with his wife.
Dedicated to the content, like a true king.
At the end of the day, right? And that's awesome. I'm just thinking once again, like, it seems like you're in this never-ending, I don't know, for lack of a better metaphor, like a hamster wheel, where you get up and you start running, and then you finish up at the end of the day, and you finish up running, and then you get off, you go to sleep, and you wake up, and you do that 6 days a week. And
I don't know, sometimes he has time to sort of scratch his leg there, Craig. Sometimes he does he's done it twice now, but sometimes he just decides to whip out the old noodle and go to town. There's some time for himself, and sometimes we get to share in that. Sometimes we get to share in the time for himself. So don't undersell it. Don't undersell it, Craig.
And we all have our hamster wheels and our rotations and our schedules and the way we do things. But it just appears that, just from the outside looking in, that if you weren't making the money that you were making, you probably wouldn't live that lifestyle.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough.
Many times over the last several years in my viewers, they say, what would you change if you could improve anything about your life? What would you do?
This is
The
key
answer
now.
would be somehow to take financial pressure off of me so I could spend more time with my wife. We've been married since 2019. We never went on a honeymoon. We haven't been on a trip since we got married.
What a tight bastard.
Can't afford it.
Can't afford it. My bills. Guys fucking spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on Apple Pay fucking transactions for WWE champions. This tight fuck won't even take his wife on a honeymoon. This guy's fucking tighter than a duck's ass. You better believe it. This guy, wallet opens, fucking moths fly out. You better fucking believe it. But he just can't afford it. He just ain't... You know what? Coach could learn from fucking DSP, couldn't he? Based Gonzo Red Pill Coach man could take a few lessons from DSP himself, couldn't he? Women might be dogs, but DSP takes it to level fucking 2 and says only spend 1 hour a fucking week with them. Based. Don't take them on a honeymoon. hide the domestic abuse as much as you possibly fucking can. We didn't say that one, Phil.
Sure this stuff will come up. I went through a bankruptcy because of really bad choices in my past. And
Bankruptcy.
the combination of online trolling ruining a lot of my financial income with my business.
The trolls made him bankrupt. It's tough.
And a combination in tandem of that ruined a lot of stuff for me.
But he ain't heard no bell.
I have not been able to fully recover because of it's always something else, and I'm tired of it. I really am. I'm looking. Where's the light at the end of the tunnel?
The light at the
I have
end.
an extra day off with my wife once a week, which I think I deserve and she deserves. But every time, and again, I want to make something very clear here. I am not trying to put myself out as a victim. All right. The reason that a lot of the things that happened to me over the years is because of me.
Whoa. 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 That's the answer, full stop. The reason that all of this shit's happened is because of me. That's it. Interview over. Thank you, good sir. You can be on your way now. He's not here to blame anyone. But you're correct. Here comes the pignosis mental gymnastics where he answers the question to the point where I think they're both sort of on the line as well. And now he's going to say it's all your fault. A-logs that have been drinking his blood.
I know that. I'm a flawed human. I'm sorry for some of the horrible things I said and done over the years. I publicly apologize. That's why a lot of people hate me. But every time that it looks like things are getting better, these people will do something horrible to me or my family that ruins financially things for me. This has happened.
I'm not a victim, he prefaces this answer with. It's all on me, he prefaces the answer with. Why am I taxic? He prefaces the answer with. But he's a changed pig. And everyone's just out to get poor Phil. He's a victim. This is the answer of a victim. You better fucking believe it. Pignosis incoming, folks. And they're like, what? He's just said the opposite. And now he's saying the opposite of that.
Times over the last few years. It was 2 years ago. All right. There was a light at the end of the tunnel. I was still on Twitch. This wasn't when I was full-time YouTube streamer. I was a Twitch streamer. I've been streaming on Twitch for 4.5 years. I built up my viewership and my subs on Twitch were at like 900 subs a month. Things were going good. I said publicly to my audience, guys, this is great. You know, the bankruptcy went through last year. That's not great, but that took a lot of financial burden off of me. If things keep going how they're going, I see a light. I'll be able to improve my business. I'll be able to maybe take time off, spend time with my wife, reduce the amount I stream. This will be outstanding. What happened? My trolls took the King of Hate mantra, which we just discussed earlier, and they got me kicked out of the Twitch partner program because of it. Now,
They did it. There was light at the end of the tunnel. There was a farm with Lenny and the fucking rabbits. But the trolls had to go and crush the 4 fucking rabbits. Or poppies, or whatever the fuck's in of mice and men. It was the detractors, you better believe it. The King of Hate mantra. You just can't escape it. The trolls made him say the N-word. The trolls made him masturbate on camera. The trolls made him fraudulently run a business. I had to be filed for bankruptcy. Trolls made him fucking beat his wife.
I've been with the Twitch partner program for 4.5 years. Twitch had no issue with me. Twitch, knowing who I was in my past, the kind of content that I put out and everything, willingly took me under their partner program. They signed me up for promotional opportunities. They had me promoting different things on their stream stuff. And then they actually...
Trolls made him fucking claim $5,000 in monthly bank fucking expenses during his bankruptcy hearing.
What do you feel that
Trolls made
they
him do it.
did to you to get you removed off Twitch specifically?
They organized a campaign. They did it, and the thing is,
They.
were so...
Cow.
Everything they
The
do,
boards.
they try to do publicly. So
My little sister.
A laugh out of it, or at least get credit for it. So there was an organized movement against me where what they were going to do was say that 2021 Phil, because that's the year this happened, is the same as 2009, 2000.
Yeah, he's a changed man. 2021 Phil is not 2011 Phil. 2009 Phil.
Apologize for it, and I don't do that kind of stuff regularly anymore. Okay, I've grown from that.
He's
Well,
growing.
I just saw a bad clip from a year ago, so that's pretty recent.
Correct.
Yeah,
I've
listen.
grown from that.
Well, I just saw a bad clip from a year ago.
Get him.
That's pretty recent.
Correct. That's
Correct.
And again, I'm totally fallible.
What I love about this is that every time they're pressing him with saying, wait a minute, Phil. Wait a minute. That clip was from like a year ago, Phil. He goes, yeah, correct. That's totally right. I'm a flawed human being. I'm fallible. And then proceeds to carry on with his pignosis. It's a fucking dodge roll. You better believe it.
Mistakes from time to time, okay? But for the most part, that's not me anymore.
No, but what you just said was just disproven because you just made it that same kind of racy joke. I'm not trying to like make it a big deal, but I'm just pointing out that
he's not even phased. Now, I think throughout the interview he starts to get more and more shocked, but he's fucking fully willing to play ball here. He knows what he's doing. He's in full control of this. He's got rehearsed lines in his head. Any fact that they, anything they get him, anything they try and nail him to, he's just going to take a victory sip, bat it back, do a dodge roll, and say he did nothing wrong.
saying it's 2021 Phil is the same as before. When you just told me in 2022 you made a joke. So this was after they said this, and you're making the same kind of like inappropriate jokes that you were back then.
But look, I mean, the reason why he got fucking banned from Twitch, folks, spoiler alert, reason why he got banned from Twitch was because he broke the terms of service. I think he called like the fucking partner manager a stupid fuck faggot or some shit. Because that partner manager said he'd be banned for restreaming. So, I mean, it was all on him. It wasn't the trolls. He says himself that, he was allowed on Twitch and allowed to grow as much as he was, even though they knew who he was. Like, they knew who he was, but they were willing to give you that second chance at Twitch, but you fucked it up. You deliberately fucked it up because you're dark side Phil. And a leopard don't change its spot. So that's the truth behind that.
Correct.
So it's kind of, so they're right? Are they right or are they wrong? I mean,
they're right in saying that I still make mistakes and I'm a flawed human. They're wrong.
Flawed human.
This is who Phil is all the time. This is his content because that's what got this happening. And by the way, it wasn't just the Twitch partner program. They basically did this exact same thing to all these different business relationships that I had. They said, he's the king of hate. He has a website called thekingofhate.com. Here's a bunch of bigoted, racist, sexist, horrible jokes he's made over the years, and they compiled this into like a montage. And had hundreds, if not more, people pummel these businesses with it to the point where
Pignosis, in effect.
It's not that we had Phil on our site for so long. We knew this was him, but we can't have people constantly harassing us for this. So we have to end it. That way, it'll stop. They won't
Stop!
Did they say that to you?
Twitch told me. Here's what they told me. We launched an investigation into your history, and we found that over the years you have used, what was the word? It wasn't racial. It was harmful slurs.
Harmful slurs.
Harmful slurs, as if basically I'm.
It wasn't racial. Over the years, he's just done that before he was on Twitch. And it wasn't whilst he was on Twitch. It wasn't whilst he was playing video games on Twitch and streaming this out that he was saying shit like this.
Shit ever. I swear, yeah. He accidentally calls Hulk Hogan a nigger. And I'm not trying to be racist or anything. It's the funniest clip ever. You gotta watch it on YouTube. He goes, Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga. And then he looks all embarrassed because he realized he did it. And he tries to turn away and walk away. It's the funniest clip ever. Nick Gers is out.
Wasn't doing this for years and years on Twitch.
Racist idiot. But anyway, you asked me if I played any mode versus besides war. The answer is no, because I can't even play anything else. All right, nigga, it's time.
Violating the TOS left, right, and centre.
When stationary, negative 75% damage. That's really bad.
Violating the TOS. Minimizing mental health issues or whatever the fuck he was doing on Twitch. Literally I mean, it's dark side Phil. What did they expect? But it's not for truthful facts to interfere with the pignosis in play.
Saying really nasty racial or things that I do not say. I do not say those things. You have to go back so far to see me say something like that, and it was a one-off comment that wasn't. Again, I'm sure people will bring it up what it was specifically, and we can address it individually if you want to.
Maybe we can.
The way they're portraying, we found that you said this 100 years ago. Sorry, you're gone. What? I was under site for 4.5 years.
It's a good comment. This is a good comment from Cookie _ with 2 zeros. They say, honestly, this is the worst thing Phil could have done because he can't keep track of his lies. All of the lies that he's told over the years, he can't keep track of them. He can't keep his stories straight. His stories have always changed and he retcons everything. It was a great interview. I agree. I absolutely agree. There's a man who can't keep track of all of the lies he's told all over the years.
You know, you never had an issue with it. Now you find something from the past, and that's not acceptable. And all of a sudden, what changed overnight? And the funny part was, it happened to me, it happened to another streamer called Wings of Redemption, and others all at once. Almost as if Twitch was having a culture shift, where they decided they wanted problematic people off the site. They wanted
that is true. I mean, that happened to plenty of people. I know people who got booted off of Twitch because they're Christian, and
the Christians.
It's pretty.
They're expelling the Christians.
I don't like Twitch.
So here I am. I've never received any kind of a warning. I've never gotten a community strike. Everything I'm doing according to Twitch terms of service is fine. I'm not banned from Twitch. I could stream there right now. But according to their partnership criteria, all my past actions are unforgivable, and therefore you can't make money on our site anymore.
And that's what it's about for Phil. Truly Antediluvian King. It's not about, like, say no to super chats and don't sell merch. No. If you're a true Antediluvian King, you sold out a long fucking time ago. And you'll refuse to stream on platforms where they don't throw money at you. Yes, that's the way it's done, folks. Woe is me, my bills need a paying. So give me your money. He could stream on Twitch right now. He could build his platform up right now. He could literally show Twitch that since he's returned, he's done it for years and years and years now. He's been sort of family friendly and he's there to make money. He's not going to be dropping hateful slurs left, right, and centre or whatever the fuck. He just can't do it because time is money and he can't help himself. Someone says new King of Sting just dropped. We might have to take a King of Sting intermission to see this one. Let's have a look. Whilst we do so, we're waiting for Phil to stream. As of 79 minutes ago. So, King of Sting just dropped. Let's see what the King of the Sector is about to drop. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. It's Shannon Gaines. Last of the Chudbuds, Death of a Gamer Gator. It's got no views. So let's break this video's virginity, shall we?
There's my waifu right there.
I love you, Gator Husbando-sama.
Try and Shannon get back to work. Quit fantasizing. And this is the second time I've had to tell you, take off that hat. Do it one more time and I'm writing you up, mister.
I'll take off the hat.
No, you're not talking in that voice either. Use your real voice when you're at work.
My real voice.
No, it's not your real voice. Now stop doing it and go sweep up.
Where he belongs. Freebird playing him out. Beautiful! Brings a tear to your eye. That was pretty good, King of Sting. So let's resume our normal transmission.
Did you go to them and bring them, did you explain to them this comment was made? Have you had any sort of discourse with Twitch to kind of explain these things? Because if you're saying that these comments were made a decade ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, whatever, and culture was different or whatever it is you want to say, have you had that opportunity to speak with Twitch about these things? And if you did, do you feel, well, no, we'll start there.
Okay. And by the way, it's not just Twitch. This happened to several other businesses too.
The thing is, right, it can only be one of two things that you've presented there, Phil. I don't want to get in the pignosis shit, so I'm just going to call shit as I see it and not hear you speak while I present the fucking facts of the case. Otherwise, I'll be like, I've lost my mind listening to the pignosis shit. it can only be one of two things that you've presented, Phil. It can either be A, the culture shift that you're talking about that swept you in Wings of Redemption off the fucking platform, or it's a gay op from the trolls. It can't be both. It can't be both. It can either be the culture shift or the gay op and trolls, Phil.
Publicly, only because it's just going to open the hornet's nest. But basically, these businesses, the way that they approach it now is, well, we have terms of service. If you break them, too bad. We have absolutely no legal obligation to tell you what you did wrong because we just don't have to. I don't believe that's true. I think if you do something wrong, they should tell you what exactly, specifically, what you did and how to remedy it. Because if you're telling me I did something to break our legal agreement, obviously I want to fix that. I don't want to keep doing the wrong thing. But
Bullshit.
They don't care. I tried reaching out to the legal team of Twitch, and essentially we have no obligation to have further contact with you. If you'd like to reapply for the Twitch Partner Program, come back in 365 days and reapply, and at that time we'll reevaluate the situation. So now I'm out of income for a year.
Okay, so can you...
No income for a year, penniless. Penniless for a year.
Nope. I was completely out of the partner program for a full year.
So it's been a year. Why don't you try to rebuild the affiliate side of things and
Exactly.
and try to reapply? And
Why don't you try and reapply? Clean up your act, Phil, and reapply.
now, I mean, and if you go the affiliate, so if you go the affiliate route, I mean, being a partner on Twitch, and let's be real, being a partner on Twitch, it allows you nothing. You know, there's no benefit of being a partner on Twitch at all outside of them.
It's actually work because you can't.
The thing is, right? We'll play a song for this one. It's going to stay. Is it going to stay? It's moving very, very slowly, but I hope it stays. The thing is, right, Phil, I mean...
I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money. Hello, everybody. It's Dark Side Phil. I need that money. To pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill. Stupid fucking trolls, man. I just want to...
Thing is, Phil, they already told you why you got banned. And it was for your slurs. It was for your slurs, Phil. Your hateful, toxic slurs. Darkside Phil, you're an adult. You're like 100 years older than me. Do Twitch really need to point at the piss on the floor and rub your nose in it like you're a fucking dog that needs potty training? Do they really need to do that?
Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money. I want to have chill streams. No detractor games. Bathroom breaks. Playing WWE. Relax and chill session. Street Fighter 3. Like, I'm getting my vibe back from 2017. 50 bitch here. 50 bitch there. 50 bitch. Raise your hands in the air. 50 bitch here. 50 bitch there. 50 bitch. Raise your hands in the air. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money. I'm the one who operated a successful YouTube channel. I'm the one who just filed...
My favourite part of the song.
I'm the one who didn't pay my taxes. I'm the one... Me. I'm the one who masturbated in front of children. I'm the one who got 4th place at Evo. I'm the one with a 10-year legacy. I'm the one... Me. 50 bitch here. 50 bitch there. 50 bitch. Raise your hands in the air. 50 bitch here. 50 bitch there. 50 bitch. Raise your hands in the air. I need that money. I really do. I need that money. My bills. The electric bill. the internet bill, the condo fees, my mortgage, my taxes, my back taxes, my current taxes, my state taxes, my federal taxes, my tax attorney, my tax guy, my tax accountant, my bankruptcy lawyer, all of my credit cards, my new setup, the new laptop. Yes, my.
Share your content in multiple places. You have to be exclusive on Twitch.
Right. So it would seem like the best route would be go the affiliate route and not be a partner on Twitch. That way you can stream to YouTube and cast your net as wide as you possibly can and grow your audience as much as you possibly
You
can.
can't do that, Craig, because he
I don't know how
slandered Twitch. That's why.
Why not do that?
Well,
Because he waged holy
I told
jihad
you
on
one half
Twitch.
of the equation. Let me tell you other stuff that was also going on. Within that same time frame of that happening, the whole year, Twitch had basically several times shut down my business entirely for things I never did. So, for example, with the summer before, I'm streaming a game, and my stream just goes offline right in the middle. What happened? Oh, you've been hit with a copyright strike. Copyright strike. Someone lied, said they worked for the company that I was
Well,
playing the game of, and impersonated an employee. and
no.
doesn't vet
He got booted because, folks, he was uploading directly, straight away, the fucking partnered Twitch streams directly to his YouTube to monetize it again. Because it wasn't enough having it be paid the first time.
going to their support and saying, what are you doing? Do you actually
Broke the fucking 24-hour exclusivity rule that the faggots run on
Then,
Twitch.
At the same time, okay, that I got kicked out of the Twitch partner program. I decided I'm going to, just what you just said, Craig, I didn't just quit Twitch that day. I stuck around for about a month after that. I said, you know what? I can't get super chats. I can't get paid subs right now. I'm going to roll with it anyway. Let's see what happens. Can I make a living? I had a Patreon. People were sending me tips, direct donations.
Double dip, Phil, you better believe it.
Maybe I can still make a living doing that. You know what? More power to it, because if I can, now who cares if I'm not in the partner program? What are they going to get me kicked out of, right? As I'm streaming, I get shut down again. What?
What?
You said
What?
racist term. No, I didn't.
No, he didn't.
And then I repealed
What did they say you said? What did they say that you said?
Get him.
I believe it was the N-word, but I don't know because they don't say
I
that
don't
very
recall.
often. They just say, oh, you were caught saying a racist term.
Did
And
you
if
say
go
the
back-
N-word?
Oh, no. I was playing Returnal.
Oh,
and when
no.
I was playing it, I was in the middle of saying something, and then like an enemy attack.
Saying the
It was
N-word.
a fumble of words that just happened.
It was a fumble of words. It was a fumble of words. He didn't say it. It was just a fumble of words that he cannot recall the content of them.
Like that. If you were not listening in context, you might say, oh my God, I heard it out of context. It sounds like he said it. But it wasn't. It was actually like me getting tongue twisted.
It was
And
tongue
I didn't
tongue
have
twist.
anyone. And then they mass submitted, my trolls mass submit that to Twitch. Oh, he said the N-word. So now I get kicked off of Twitch temporarily. My whole stream gets shut down. It took about a day. I got brought back, but it's like, at one point, when am I going to realize this business is not being professional? They're going to kick me out of their partner program for stuff I did 10 years ago, not give me any recourse to appeal it or stick up for myself. We don't have to do that legally, so, oh, so now I'm out money that I'm
Gymnastics time, folks.
now you can shut down my stream.
Doing somersaults now.
I didn't even do. And then I have to go out of my way to
Axon says, I put together a basic Gantt chart. How do I share it? I noticed a 30-minute gap in his schedule between him hanging out with his wife and streaming again. That 30 minutes is for a leg scratch. Send it to me on Twitter at KinoDogBay2007 and I'll present it to the pulpit. Brave work.
correct your mistake because you're an unprofessional business. I mean, and I was there for almost 5 years building a community. I had so many people who loved me being on Twitch, and I lost a lot of viewership and a lot of income moving from Twitch and coming over becoming a full-time streamer on YouTube. YouTube is not as profitable to stream, man. There's no real discoverability over here. It's very hard to get noticed on YouTube. I lost a ton.
But
Why
there's
do
no
you- why do you wanna
discoverability on
do it,
Twitch
then?
either. Yeah,
Why do you want
I-
to even be a streamer anymore? Like, what is your reasoning? I like streaming. I understand. I love being on stage. I'm a musician.
Shut
as
up,
well.
faggot.
There's something about having an audience that I really
Just
love,
shut
and
up,
I
faggot.
love having an audience.
No one wants to hear about you, your passions, or whatever the fuck you do outside of this interview with DSP. We're only gracing your presence because the king has graced you with their presence.
Stop doing this
No one
for
gives a
while.
fuck about how much of I ride horses and fucking hunt, go lobster. No one gives a shit. No one gives a flying fuck. Nor does DSP. He's just waiting for you to address him. He's not going to offer any sort of, oh, that sounds great, bro. You live your life. No one gives a fuck. And he certainly don't give a fuck either.
Get a normal job and just, kind of take a breather.
Pignosis has worn off. They've managed to get back to the question sheet. It's taken all but 15 fucking minutes for the pignosis to wear off. But they've managed to ask the question that they asked to begin with.
A lot of people have said that to me. My mother said that to me when I got married. She's like, look how things are going. On the internet, everyone's crapping on you. And, don't you think that may be long term?
Mother dropping the hard truths.
That was around 2019, before the bankruptcy and all of that. I kind of agreed with her. I was like, yeah, look at this.
Mom's a detractor, you better believe it.
Improve and be better. And it's like people don't care. People just want to crap on me no matter what I do.
Mom's the one leaking the fucking bank statements, you better believe it.
You're not beholden to anyone but yourself and God.
Mama Burnell.
As long as you're okay with who you are in the morning and that you feel that you're okay with God. And my mom's religious, I'm not, okay? But
you hear that, folks? Phil don't answer to his mom. He don't answer to the detractors. He don't even answer to these two faggots. There's only one person that Phil's answering to, and that's God! That's how it's done, folks. That's how you do the antediluvian king shit. You say, oh, I'll be judged later at the gates of St. Peter. It'll be God that judges me. No faggot out there has the capability or the qualification to judge me. Only God can judge. This is after him saying for years and years and years that he's not religious, but only God can judge Phil.
when she said that to me, it was like, she's right. Why do I have to answer to an angry mob of people every day?
Why do I have to answer to humankind, to the peasant filth that calls itself humanity, when I can just answer to God?
I just live my life like everyone else on this planet.
Hallelujah.
But, and of course there's always a but, a lot of things changed between 2019 and now. I love what I do now. At one point, I will openly say this, I hated what I did for a living. Around 2016, a lot of things were going really bad for me. YouTube had...
We're going to highlight that. He loves his life now, but things were pretty fucking tough at one point in time. And we're going to explore how things got tough. Things were pretty tough at one point in time. And, I'm going to take you on that journey. I'm going to take you on that fucking journey. Wings, big up.
The other thing that's very alarming is that I need that money. I need that money. Real talk.
We got Wings whimpering like a little dog as Phil goes on about his depression. Toxic content from the detractors.
Personal life was falling apart as well. This is before I met my wife, by the way. And I didn't know what to do. I felt like I was trapped. I was like, I have so much debt in my name. There's no way if I quit YouTube, if I'm gonna make, if I'm gonna get a 9-to-5 job somewhere, I'm gonna lose everything. I'm gonna lose my house. I'm gonna lose everything because I can't afford it. If I get a 9-to-5 job, I'll never make as much money, as I do on YouTube or Twitch or whatever.
So that's really what it comes down to is streaming is more profitable.
The thing is, and you'll see this throughout his answers during this 5-hour interview, for a man who hates other people bringing up his past, those that have drank his blood for a centenary year, 100 years drinking Phil's blood from a goblet, you know that he hates you bringing up elements from his past. For a man who hates that, he sure does like to bring up his fucking past every 10 minutes. Same with a wife.
Than getting a 9-to-5.
That's 50% of it, I would say. About 50% weight. Because the other half is since I became a full-time streamer in 2017.
Guy went bankrupt because of WWE fucking champions.
A ton of videos a day. Instead, it's about having meaningful content with an audience that I connect with.
Meaningful, content-connected content.
Until today has been the absolute best time of my life, professionally and personally, because I met my wife and I have a great personal life. As little time as I get to spend with her.
1 hour a day. Let's see if the neat Ronin is fucking sent the Gantt chart through whilst we cue this up. Ooh, the time of my life.
I didn't know you had dandruff. I don't.
We've got 10 seconds left of the unskippable advert. They've begun, folks. They have begun.
He's head and shoulders.
I didn't know you had dandruff.
I don't.
People who use Head and Shoulders don't have dandruff.
People who use Head and Shoulders don't have dandruff, so buy Head and Shoulders. So let's see. No Gantt chart yet. I'm a seeing a no Gantt charter. No Gantt charto. Great disorder. This one, it's a Ralph cameo, but Crack Fiend Jones has just won today on the Twitter timeline. So whilst we might not have the fucking Gantt chart in play, Gate is just... It's another night where Gate is considering ending it all, isn't it? Everybody.
Life-changing experience for me and my wife. And then becoming an interactive streamer and leaving that past behind it. I have to fill dead air constantly with a stupid, risque joke and dumb commentary. And
The hateful slurs that got him banned from Twitch for violating TOS.
Teenager or 20-year-old being an idiot on the internet. My audience today is not the same audience I had 15 years ago. Now,
Because they've all been swept.
As Adam says, Mr. Analytics, right? If you look at my analytics, you'll notice I get almost no teen viewers. Almost less than 1% of my viewership are teens. It's people in their mid to late 20s, 30s, and 40s. Why? Because now you come to my content and it's chill, fun. Every once in a while the rage comes out.
Swept as fuck.
But it's more meaningful stuff. I love that connection I have.
All detractors been relegated to the Phantom Zone.
In some ways, and not that I'm going to that level of personal connection, but they're kind of like my friends. They're really good acquaintances who I know, and we can chat, and we can
Chat.
every stream and have meaningful I learn stuff from my audience. And now I
Deep
go back to
philosophical
what, you know,
conversations, existential discussions on the meaning of life, connecting Phil to his audience. Tis the golden age, folks. He's having the time of his life.
I love
What
my
is
job now.
what does meaningful mean? What does that like? Walk me through. What does that mean? Do you feel like you're like? Is this you say,
Meaningful
your
means
audience?
a reverse fucking parasocial relationship where he's just taking all their fucking money. That's what meaningful means. It means a curated collection of pay pigs that will be swept the moment any of them say anything out of turn. That's what meaningful means.
Friends, right? You feel like you have a now. I've seen clips of you say that you know your audience is not your friends, right? So like, are they your friends or are they not your friends? Are they, because you're kind of speaking on you know, just based off clips I've seen.
Sure.
You're kind of speaking on both sides of your mouth here.
My audience are not close personal friends. I'm not gonna.
They're peasants.
Tell you about.
They're insects. My audience are insects that are beneath me. They're there to pay for me. They're there to stop me from getting a part-time job to support my wife and kids.
Important behind-the-scenes stuff in my life. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I'm here 6 days a week. This is my social interaction outside of my wife, and the one day a week that I leave this house to do stuff when I'm not streaming. This right here, this laptop, this chat is my social interaction with the world.
That's tough.
So that is me being friendly with people. That's, you know, as if you were, you know, you go to your place of work. Hi, how you doing? Your coworkers, right? You walk in, you hang out with them or whatever. It's kind of what it kind of feels like, a camaraderie with regulars. And, you know, there's people who come in and out all the time, and that's the nature of the beast. But I really do feel like today it's more meaningful what I do. There's, again, back in the day, people would say, Phil, I loved your content because I got a laugh today watching you raid. Today it's like, Phil, let me tell you something. Something horrible happened in my life. And I came by your stream, and I hung out with you for 2 hours today. You were playing Oblivion. We talked. I helped you with the game. We had fun conversation about something going on the internet. At the end of that stream, I felt so much better. You know,
Transformational.
A fun, meaningful experience to me. And when people give me that feedback, that lets me know that what I'm doing is worthwhile with all the hate and all the shit that
It's meaningful. You're not human ATMs, fucking peasants that pay pig for Phil. He doesn't see you as an ATM. He's there to discuss the meaningful parts of Oblivion, or it's the best time of his life.
I don't know if that sounds crazy or not, but
It sounds unhinged.
I love it. It helps me. You know what I mean? It's like kind of reciprocating back and forth.
Okay. Let's.
Okay. Okay.
I think that
okay.
every streamer has a relationship with their audience that's unique, right? As somebody who's doing,
No one cares, Craig. No one cares about how much you want to showboat as a king on this widely seen interview with Darkside.
Was that you toasting? Okay, just
Well,
making
you
sure.
were talking about a relationship with the audience.
No one cares about any of your relationships with your audience. You are not relevant. You are not relevant one bit.
But it seems like your relationship is a little different.
Okay.
When it comes to, you know, you're very open that you are funded by your audience, right? You've said many times that you know, you don't want sponsors, but you started talking today about how no sponsors will touch you, right? Because of for a number of different reasons, for your reputation, right? What is it? Which one is it? Would you rather have?
Yeah, which is
sponsors?
it,
What's wrong
Phil?
with having sponsors
Commit.
compared
Commit to one.
like if
There are two
sponsors
paths
had
ahead of you. Go
$500
down one.
to talk about,
Choose your
you know,
destiny.
whatever their product is, wouldn't that be better than having to rely on crowdfunding or your audience on a day-to-day basis?
Well, the real reality of Phil's money, I mean, the majority of it comes from alt accounts, socks that never even fucking participate in his streams. They're literally just fucking pay pigging him without any commentary. That's meaningful for Phil. That's the true meaningful fucking content that Phil is describing. Voiceless ATMs. Insect peasant plebs who we won't acknowledge. The moment any of those fucking pay pigs speak up, they will be swept and replaced with another voiceless ATM human being. Peanut Head says literal money laundering. You say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
Oh, you know, it's a double-edged sword. It really is, because I can say right now, if I had a bunch of sponsors on my stream, absolutely would things financially be better? Would the pressure be taken off of me to earn on a stream? Yes,
Bullshit.
absolutely.
You better believe when Phil was really fucking raking it in, he was still out there with his fucking panhandle every fucking night. Every hour of the day accounted for, wielding the fucking panhandle.
But at the same time, and again, this is something that people will bring up that feels stubborn. You know, I agree.
We're all flawed,
always in
but
the
I've
15
changed.
years that I make content, always been
I answer to
critical
God
of
now.
people who shill. And there's a difference between, I have a sponsor today and I shill. There is. I know that. You know, you can watch people out there who they put
This is my favourite part of this whole interview, by the way, and we're just getting to it now. So listen to this and listen, really hear it, folks.
that I make content, always been critical of people who shill. And there's a difference between, I have a sponsor today and I shill. There is. I know that. You know, you can watch people out there who they put out a 30-minute video and 2 minutes of the video is a plug. I think that's acceptable, right? But then there's people who, like, they try every opportunity to monetize. Everything they possibly could. Every aspect of what they do is a monetization. I've seen, in my React content last year, I watched someone who apparently is supposed to...
I mean, the fact that Phil had to go out and watch someone else do what he's just described there, apart from fucking looking in the mirror and going, everything I've just described is literally me. The fact that he had to...
There's people who, like, they try every opportunity to monetize. Everything they possibly could. Every aspect of what they do is a monetization. I've seen, in my React content last year, I watched someone who apparently is supposed to be doing a heartfelt message to...
I mean, bro. Can we not pretend that you're not looking in the mirror and acknowledging the fact that these opinions you hold on the evil shillers of the world don't apply exactly to you? This guy will monetize, like, his sleep, his fucking every meal he makes. Like, everything that's ever happened in this guy's life is a monetizable asset.
monetize. Everything they possibly could. Every aspect of what they do, and I shill. There is. I know that. You know, you can watch people out there who they put out a 30-minute video and 2 minutes of the video is a plug. I think that's acceptable, right? But then there's people who, like, they try every opportunity to monetize. Everything they possibly could. Every aspect of what they do is a monetization. I've seen, in my React content last year, I watched someone who apparently is supposed to be doing a heartfelt message about something going on. They're crying on stream, and on top of the stream, there's ads running. Like, you can't turn that off for 5 seconds to do...
Like, DSP. We're really doing this. We're really doing this. We're really doing this, Phil. The pignosis at play that's trying to get these guys to sort of spiral out and detour from the question sheet they've got in front of them. It's the trolls that are keeping Phil from getting sponsors. But also, Phil's not a fucking shill. Because he has no sponsors, so please fucking tip. Please fucking acknowledge the panhandle that I'm wheeling out every fucking hour of the day. Yeah, he monetized eating 3 Skittles for $20. For real. For real.
Your heartfelt message to your audience, right? For me...
But hold on, Phil, because...
Wait a minute.
There are times...
Guy's got his fucking head in his hands. Pignosis is real.
Hey, I really need... I'm in a really tough spot now. I got this coming up. And on the same screen, you have a tip tracker. You know, it's
the
the
tip
same
tracker.
type of thing. Like
Correct.
You're tracking your revenue on the stream, and I don't have any problem with that. That's
of course you don't. No one gives a fuck about any aspect of your personal fucking showboating. No one cares. We're only here for you to ask the questions of Phil that we've waited 20 years to be asked. No one gives a fuck, Craig, about who you are or the showboating you attempt to fucking bring to this. No one will remember who you two faggots are beyond this interview. And you better believe that one.
Millions of streamers, but it's the idea of saying, like, hey, I'm in a really tough spot right now. I really need you guys to help me out. And in your words, I'm going to be eating, lunch meat sandwiches, right? Like, what's wrong with lunch meat sandwiches sometimes?
There's nothing wrong with lunch meat sandwiches. I eat them a lot.
We know.
They're delicious. No, I see what you're saying. For the tip tracker, that's really there for...
Guy does shots for $100 fucking
That sounds weird. I would prefer not to track tips. Because if I didn't have to track tips, I wouldn't have to count all stream. I could just kind of focus on what I'm doing with my audience.
He'd prefer not to track the tips. Because it means he'd have... He'd just prefer to Scrooge McDuck it and dive into a pool of money at the end of every fucking stream. And that's his method of counting.
But, you know, there's incentives, there's rewards that they like. They like silly things I do on stream. They've come up with ideas, not me. They come up with the idea that if I raise a certain amount on a stream, I put on a stupid hat or a vest. They donate hats and vests for me to wear on a stream to look like an idiot. And I'm okay looking like an idiot for them. I don't care. What do I, I'm self-deprecating. Who gives a crap? They're supporting me. It's a way to give back. No, I hear what you're saying. The difference is, all right, there's a tracker on the screen. Okay.
Guys tracking his tips. Like, if you're a true antediluvian king, the way you fucking do it, folks, is you make your fucking chat beholden to you. You don't even have to really beg them anymore. You'll just sweep them if they fucking don't donate, don't tip, don't send your costumes, don't participate in your latest shill game of the day. I'm gonna eat 3 Skittles for $20, and if you don't play ball, you will be gone to Tractor. Bear in mind, the guy don't even need a fucking tip goal or a tip tracker on screen. Makes like 5k at least off YouTube memberships and ad revenue alone. Like, don't even need a fucking tip goal. But Bills.
I'm not going to sit there and talk about it constantly. If you watch a 4-hour stream I put out, yes, every once in a while I'll say, hey guys, it'd be great when you get some more support on the stream or whatever today. And then we move on, right? And I'll hit it upon it a few times during the stream. Some people say I hit upon it.
Just a few times. It's not every fucking 5 seconds. Not every 5 minutes, begging them to tip, and if they don't, they'll go, because the audience is beholden to him.
But there's a difference between that and you can tell that a stream is being done because someone is enjoying themselves and having a passion, or someone turned on a stream today to make money. You know what I mean? There's people out there that I feel like the only reason that they're in it is there's no passion.
Amazing.
They don't love what they're doing. It's because they saw dollar signs.
This is gold, isn't it?
It sounds like projecting right now.
It is projecting.
Phil,
That is projecting.
you just said a few minutes ago, and I mean this with all sincerity, man. You said just a few minutes ago, the reason why you still do this is because you can make more money than a 9-to-5 job, right? And it's
right.
Correct.
so like
Correct.
and
Correct.
I don't know, man. It doesn't
Based.
seem. It seems like when you're asking your audience for money consistently. Look, Adam and I have both worked with.
No one cares. No one cares about you two faggots and what you do, or your showboating attempting to mount one over the king. They only care when you do a face palm or when you try and ask them a question.
I've left companies over this, right?
I don't care.
And
No one
something
gives a
that
fuck.
I don't agree with it, but let's say you reach a goal and you put on your vest or whatever. How are you taking that money and are you reinvesting it into your content? Are you reinvesting it into cameras? Are you doing special streams outside of just your day-to-day gameplay stuff? What value are you adding by people? I mean, I get you have to pay bills. I get it, right? What value are you adding?
Now the
to your
chair swaying
audience?
is getting a bit more, because this is where really Phil gets on the line. The pignosis isn't really working, even though they're stuttering over their own question sheet. He knows that it's just not working anymore. The pignosis sessions, they're wearing off after like a minute. It's no longer taking 15 minutes, so he's getting shiftier in his seat. He's sort of swaying back and
I
forth
get
now.
You have to pay bills. I get it.
The composure
What
is
value
gone.
Are you adding
He's
to
on the line.
your audience's experience to further that
Rocking
meaningful
back and
relationship
forth.
that you're offering.
On the cross.
Yeah, we've had big goals. Like, for example, if we hit a monthly members goal on YouTube, if we hit a sub goal on Twitch, now instead of just doing our normal routine gameplay, I do an interactive event with the viewers where we'll talk for a series of weeks. What do you guys want to see?
Guy is broke, makes fucking 120 grand a year.
You want to see a big React event? You want to see a special party atmosphere? We just did one a couple of weeks ago with Super Bowl event.
What is a React event? What does that mean?
What is a React
Watching
event?
stuff, or?
React.
React event.
Let's say there's a documentary, a long-form documentary out there that people really want to see me react to. 2 hours, right? But for me to react to it, it's going to take like 3-4 hours.
And by reacting, he means he will sort of silently sit there The only conversation he'll make is, why is the money not rolling in? Sort of look at his phone, do anything other than react to what they're asking him to react to. React event. I'm going to call a react event like when I watch fucking the next film I watch. It's a react event. It's Adam watching a film. React event.
To do, people also don't want me to get backlogged on the games that I'm playing. But you hit that event, now we're going to do special things. This big react event, it's separate from all my other content.
Amazing.
A lot of times it's hyped up. We set special things around.
He's diversifying his portfolio.
Yes, some of that money gets reinvested. I have a series.
ZXV, not everything is about Ralph. Not everything has to be about Ralph, ZXV. So, there you go. That's for bringing your Ralph gay faggotry into a King of the fucking Sector, Antediluvian King Phil stream. You can't make this about Ralph. Not everything is about fucking Ethan Ralph. The big boys are at the table. The king has rode into town and he's ready to take his throne. So, you leave your fucking Ralph fucking A-logging faggotry at the door for this one, I'm afraid.
My fans love this. It's called Feasting with the King. Basically, I order a meal.
It's called Feasting with the King. And literally, if anyone's ever seen a Feasting with the King, it's literally just watching Phil eat. React event, Feasting with the King. What a king.
Yes, some of that money gets
Mental gymnastics around shilling and monetizing every single aspect of your life.
I have a series. I know this sounds stupid, but my fans love this. It's called Feasting with the King. Basically, I order a meal, and I eat a meal with my audience. They think it's funny. They think it's funny to see me eat. I look stupid. They say I look like I'm in pain when I eat. They like making fun of me, right?
When you say the king,
you're still using the king moniker. I see.
right? The king of
correct.
The King of Hate.
Not the
Well,
King of Hate. That's the thing.
It doesn't matter. You
The
said
King of Hate.
And that's what it was.
He's not about the drama anymore. He's a changed man. He answers only to God. He's having the time of his life right now. It's the golden age. He's behind and left all behind the fucking Street Fighter, King of Hate drama and all of this shit. He's not the King of Hate, and your hatred don't fuel him. But there he is, feasting. Every meal of the day is under the moniker of Feasting with the King of Hate. Other grifters can only dream of this.
You're 100% correct, and the thing is, I do need to try to fully phase it out. Feasting with the King and Ask the King are two leftover shows or events that I do that have the King moniker in them that I probably should try to phase out or rename. But when you have things that have been running for so long, people actually have pushback. Like, don't change it. We love it. It's been like that for so long. Those are my true fans saying that, not my haters.
The true fans.
But you're right. You're right. I agree there. But anyway, no. Yes.
WWE champions with the King.
There was
how?
Filing for bankruptcy with the King.
doing something above and beyond. I'm gonna.
Well, that doesn't cost any money though. Doing another stream, reacting. That's just making more money.
But correct. But then the ordering of a giant meal that normally I wouldn't have ordered.
I mean, like, can we not? Ordering a giant meal that he normally wouldn't order. Like, bro. Phil, can we not? Can we not?
It doesn't leave.
What is that? What I need to... It's Mauler. Mauler and his faggots all have assembled to discuss Shazam. It's a complete breakdown of Shazam. And they've just started streaming. And I don't know why that's just come up, but, look at them. Look at them making all this fucking bank. Talking about Shazam. It's fucking Mauler. That'll be something I'll probably watch later, to be honest. What I did have lined up was something for this. Where is it? Remember, folks, this is a fictional story, and any resemblance to real persons, places, or events is purely coincidental.
It's time to take. Legends are gone.
Well, this guy's been great. This guy's a fellow neat samurai, by the way. He's been asking for a shill for a while, so here you go. Do you hear this, folks? Look. It don't all revolve around Ethan Ralph, Johnny Come Lately faggots. Ethan Ralph's like a fucking filler arc, ready for the real king to come back and ascend to his throne. It's not all about fucking, oh, Mr. Vickers. Who gives a shit, really?
I used my mom's credit card. She must have caught him. But anyways, fuck it. What's up, man? How's Jasper? I do think it's fucked up. You've got so many detractors, illegal restreamers, hate channels, reactors, and every single one of them. You're down from the rafters, and every single one of them knows you're always plastered that you were grooming Candalee and tried to trap her, and every single one of your streams is a disaster.
This is fire.
You have support from some overcooked pasta.
Guy spent 200 grand on WWE fucking champions. Let's not forget, Phil, that when you hit fucking 1,000 paid memberships with 300 viewers for your Christmas event, you fucking paywalled Christmas, bro. You paywalled Christmas, bro.
I got a room full of posters and pictures of my mom, my wife, is pregnant, and I'm about to
Paywall everything. No half measures. Paywalling Christmas.
I really hope this fit will get you through it. Forever yours, your biggest fan. P.S. We should be together.
How did he get away with it for 15 years? Well, that's the great formula of Phil. No one quite understands how he keeps getting away with it, how he refuses to acknowledge the Bell's presence. No one quite knows. But this is why he's the true king. Because he's got away with it for 15 fucking years. And he's probably stronger than he ever was, really. All you faggots that, oh, if I post Faith Vickers' diary, then that will get Ethan Ralph's major own and spiral him into lolcowdom and he'll shoot his brains out, whatever the fuck. Look, you only have to look at what DSP has been through. He hasn't even been through... Ralph hasn't been through a fucking second of DSP's time on the internet, really. Ralph's maybe about 5 months in to the typical DSP odyssey. I mean, and the content around Ralph isn't as fire as the content around Phil. The A-Logs ain't got no creativity. The fact is, the A-Logging community, the detractors, the toxic community around Darkside Phil is far stronger than Ralph's will ever be. Because no one gives a flying fuck about Ralph. The only reason he's got the fucking gun sub for him is because Josh is tilted. That's the only real reason. If he was really DSP tier, the content would be as fire as this on a daily basis. This shit's uploaded every fucking day.
This right here sucks.
But that's what we had lined up for that segment.
Ordering 2 entrees and stuff, getting DoorDash, you're talking $50, $60 on my pocket that I normally would not spend. You know, it's not budgeted, but because, you know, we did a special little thing. And I know, I hear what you're saying. What you're saying is, if you have these goals every day, where's the money go? Would you really like to know? Do you really want?
It's not. Honestly, it's not that we are asking. It's that I feel like the people out there that have been supporting you, that now have turned against you because they feel you lied them or saw them as dollar signs, and that's all that they were to you. It's like
they were human ATMs. Get with the program.
Well, then let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a minute, right?
So,
there was a, you went through bankruptcy, right?
Here we go.
That's pretty public.
Here we go.
And there was this, the
WWE Champions time.
Business expense thing has been talked about by your detractors.
Yeah, $5,000 business expense.
It's quite a bit. They say, what could you possibly be spending $5,000 on? Look, a month. You are a streamer who streams, by your own schedule. You're active 12 hours a day doing this, right? And there's.
And by your own admission, you said like you didn't fix the set at all. It's been just a shoddy set.
Now this is good. This is where these two fags, the Pignosis is, they've developed the antidote and they've administered it. Now they're working together. This is how it should have been. It's only taken them an hour and a half, but how it should have been is them working together to nail him to the cross, to get him to answer these fucking pressing questions. But this is where they sort of bring it together and the magic really happens. You know, Phil loses his composure. You can see it in his eyes. And, you know, finally, these side-scrollers, they get their act together.
Doing this, right? And there's...
And by your own admission, you said like, you didn't fix the set at all. It's been just a shoddy set for most of your...
It becomes Frost Nixon tier.
Of doing this.
Right. So there's this whole, like, what do your business expenses look like? I mean,
What are you spending $5,000 a month business expenses on, Phil? Where's the money going? Where is it going? Account for this, please.
And the business expenses are your initial cost of setting up your camera, your lights, and that's about it. And then after that, it's your cost
Internet
is your
bill?
time. Yeah, is your time, right? And so walk me through. What does that look like? What is it specifically?
Break down the figures. $5,000 a month. Hose, Coke, where's it going?
What is this?
Okay, so first of all, we're talking about things that
The real answer, by the way, isn't booze, isn't Coke, isn't hose. It's WWE champions. That's the real fucking answer. The real answer is that it's all going on WWE champions because he's addicted to this mobile game. And it's all going through Apple Pay. That's the real answer. But listen to the Cope answer.
during a bankruptcy proceeding.
I mean, even a DoorDash addiction. Right, let's explore that. DoorDash addiction, he's spending what? I mean, how much could you conceivably spend on DoorDash a month that would justify $5,000 worth of payment? I mean, even PPP, who's fucking on the Grubhub deliveries, is probably spending around 60 Canadian a day. Phil would be spending about, let's say 80 Canadian a day. Let's say 80 Canadian a day, which would amount to like 50 American US dollars a day on DoorDash. Does the math add up that the $5,000 a month is going on DoorDash? When we know from the bank statements, the bank leaks, that all of the money's going on WWE champions. Hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of transactions through Apple Pay to WWE champions.
And I believe that the $5,000
He's just a good tipper.
came off of, I believe it's from my a tax return. Is that correct? That it was filed or the data? I'm trying to remember exactly where it came from. You guys probably know more than me because you've probably been inundated with this for 2 weeks. While
You guys probably know more than me about the $5,000 business expense. You guys probably know more than me. I have no idea. I do not recall, Your Honour. I have no recollection of these events. I cannot account for where the $5,000 in business expenses is going a month. Like, come on, Phil. But will the Pignosis work? Will the Pignosis work? Or have they finally got their act together to press him to the cross?
I don't. I want to hear it from you.
I think, again, I'm just speculating.
I want to hear it from you. Thank fuck these faggots have finally got their show together. I don't. I'm not going to showboat this time. I'm not even going to... I don't know. I want to hear the breakdown of the figures from you. Thank fuck.
I think what happened was when I filed for bankruptcy, a lot of information goes public. And so they look at a public filing. I guess there's certain information that's made public. I don't think it's all your tax returns. I think it's like 1 year's worth or something. And I guess there was a number that was thrown out there that it looks like Phil spends $5,000 a month on business expenses.
Look at how he disassociates himself from his own actions. And he does so with the telling nose scratch that shows and signifies guilt.
Worth or something. And I guess there was a number that was thrown out there that it looks like Phil spends $5,000 a month on
Guilt.
business expenses. Now, number one, I don't do my own taxes. I have a tax guy to do. I pay him to do it.
The tax guy. The tax guy. Let's press the... So what he's saying there is he doesn't do his own numbers. It's the tax guy, so it's the tax guy's fault. So The inference there is that the tax guy must be, I don't know, laundering this money out of the business? Must be putting $5,000 expenses on the business, and it's the tax guy that's taking it and spending on WWE champions, right? That's the inference from what Phil is saying there. He's blaming his fucking accountant.
Here's what I can tell you. All right, when I can tell you right now because I'm working on it right now for this year. What are considered expenses that a tax attorney wants to know you're spending every month? Geez, your mortgage, because if you work from home, I guess that's part of it.
Now, mortgage, okay? $5,000 a month business expenses going on the mortgage. Number one, that's illegal. Certainly in this country, you can't pay your fucking mortgage through your business expenses. But let's say it is a $5,000 a month mortgage. Phil must be living in a fucking mansion. Phil must be living in like Buckingham Palace or some shit.
I don't know. Again, I'm not a tax guy, but it costs your mortgage, all of your utility bills that apply.
So mortgage and bills, $5,000 a month business expenses. Now, unless this guy, well, he probably does, but unless the guy has every single electrical appliance on all the fucking time, unless the water's flowing the whole fucking time, unless the central heating's on the whole fucking time, is that really going to stretch to $5,000 a month? And also, is it right to, use the $5,000 a month, funnel it as business expenses to pay your mortgage and your personal utility bills? The only way I think you can get away with this is if you say your office is the place of work. If you say your home is your office, is your place of work. But even then, it's real fucking shady. It's real shades of grey, folks.
Hold on. Phil, you've been doing this for 17 years and you don't know what your business expenses are? You don't know what
Get him.
tax write-ups on and stuff?
Get him.
Specifically, no, I don't. I give that all.
Politician's answer. Specifically, he doesn't know every single breakdown of that figure. Specifically, no, he doesn't. And he's telling the truth there. It's a politician's answer. Specifically, he doesn't know. 69 Bankroll says, oh, wait, that's tax fraud. You're finally getting there, brother. You're finally understanding why this interview is gold as fuck.
And you don't know what your business expenses are? You don't know what you get tax write-ups on and stuff? I mean,
Specifically, no, I don't. I give that all.
Politician.
A lot of money to a tax guy. I have a giant.
It all goes to the tax guy. Tax guy is accountable for it. Tax guy is to blame for WWE champions. It's just fucking lie after lie after.
That I provide, they work it out because every year it's different. I get to feel tax laws change and stuff, and they figure it out. I give them all the data. In fact, just got an email from my tax guy the other day.
But what? Okay, so what data are you sending, Phil, to your tax guy to write off his business expenses that amount to $5,000 a month? Break down the data, Phil.
For this year's tax filing, if we need, how much do you pay for utilities? What's your
He's doing his Adolf Pigler here. Shall we take a moment to appreciate an Adolf Pigler cameo?
Figure it out. I give them all the data. In fact, just got an email from my tax guy the other day. He's like, we still need this data.
All right.
For this year's tax filing, if we need.
Adolf Pigler, there we go. 07's in the chat. This interview has it all.
How much do you pay for utilities? What's your cost of internet this year? What's this? They need all that information, and I got to get them to, and then they do it. So, here's the thing. All right, everyone.
I don't know where any of the money goes from the mouth of a man who obsesses over every single dime he's ever made.
We'll get to that, but I want to stay on this for a minute. Just once again, walk me through this.
Now, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Phil actually did his own bankruptcy forms, and he's the one that put the $5,000 a month figure on the bankruptcy forms. The truth. That's what happened, but it was the tax guy.
This because, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, and I'm trying to think
Craig,
through
while you're piecing it together, building that up. I just want to remind you.
You know what? You know what I'm enjoying, folks? I'm enjoying not having to talk about Ralph or Gator or Chudbuds or Daddy Jim. I'm enjoying this moment in time where I can actually relay a lot of DSP fucking lore that's been swimming in this head that we've had to fucking chamber for a while. Thank God we can get back to our normal programming. Thank God we can resume our normal transmission and we don't have to fucking go through this stupid-ass filler arc that gets more and more boring by the fucking day. Thank God we don't have to humour the T-Clipses and Kino Shays of the world. Thank God we can just go back to the true golden age, where Phil's being nailed to the cross.
Like, you said at the beginning of this stream, you want this to be where people can go to finally, like, oh, you just go watch
What a king.
Right? I don't have to say it anymore. So, like, this...
That's right.
Said, like,
You know, Kino Casino, you can cover your Ralph and your Fuentes to your heart's content. I'm perfectly happy with my lot in life. This is everything I would need and more. All my Christmases come at once. And you know what? Unlike Phil, I'm not payrolling my Christmas. I'm not payrolling this shit either. So Kino Casino, make do with your scraps. Make do with your fucking peasant trough. Your fucking swill of Fuentes Ralph content. You make do with that.
Like, what do we want to know? Yeah. Where people can go to finally, like, oh, you just watch that video, right? I don't have to say it anymore. So, like, this, you said, like, what do we want to know? This isn't for us. This is for the people out there that are like, what about...
Bear in mind that Phil acts as like a fucking financial expert on all of his streams when people are calling him out for his tax evasion and stuff like that. He says, I know everything about my business. I know where all the taxes go and all this. I pay everything. And here he is feigning all ignorance. I don't know. It was a tax man. I don't do shit.
It was the mortgage. It was this. I don't know if that's actually considered a tax write-off. I don't want you to get in trouble, but I don't know. It just feels...
No, I see. That's the thing. Again, when I went to that bankruptcy, oh my God.
My God.
That was the craziest rigmarole. Because my tax attorney, not my tax attorney, my bankruptcy attorney, had no idea what they were getting into with me being a public persona. And there were things you can do, I guess, to protect from online harassment, which they did. I tried to explain. They didn't really understand.
Fuck. Bankruptcy attorney got harassed by the detractors. Oh, fuck. This wasn't a normal fucking bankruptcy of a guy who wasn't paying his fucking taxes. No. This was completely different to all of the bankruptcies ever. This was a Dark Side Phil bankruptcy.
And so when all that went public, that was the most drama-filled bankruptcy hearing ever.
Ever. In history.
With thousands of messages from my haters about stuff. But anyway, let me answer the question first, and then we can get to anything you want to talk about there. I would assume that the expenses are including everything that I do. Okay, that's related to the business, and that could include...
Here we go. So he's got to itemize the list. They finally got him to itemize this list, and I'm fucking ready for this. You better listen to this itemized list of where the $5,000 is going on business expenses. Let's fucking go.
Mortgage, any insurance that I'm paying that relates to the business, health insurance and or medical costs, legal costs, and what I'm talking about is my tax attorney, but also other attorney and things that I've been involved in over the years, which maybe we will get into that today or maybe we won't. I really can't talk too much about certain things, but we'll get to that, about identity theft and stuff. I know, it's the first time I ever mentioned that, you guys, so, among other things, all the normal things in a month. Like I said, utilities and all of that. It adds it up, here it is, here's my tax return. All of a sudden I'm being accused that was a lie or something. All right, here's what I can say, because I'm not going to see
all the normal things that you'd spend in a month, like fucking $10 Hulu subscriptions, Phil? Fucking hell. All of it's literally all going on WWE Champions. That's where it's going. There's no mystery to solve. There's no need to even itemize a list. It's all going through Apple Pay. It was shown in the bank leaks on WWE Champions. Hundreds, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars going through on WWE Champions. Somehow Phil managed to convince the fucking boomer judge that the mobile games were business related. It amazes me. Guy is now actually making $120K a year. Still, post-bankruptcy.
tax return and say, here's what my accountant said or whatever.
Right.
This is from 2010. This is $5,000 a month.
Oh, excuse me. Did I say 2010? I meant 2020. That's totally my fault. I meant 2020. My bankruptcy was 2020, so I think the tax return that must be referenced is like 2019, something like that. Okay. Here's what I know. Because
Here's what he knows about his own actions and his own business.
that happened to me. This judge that was involved in the bankruptcy hearing was attacked online with so much shit. I had to go into meeting after meeting with both my bankruptcy attorney and this judge. Hours of work. We went through line item by line item of all of my expenses. I had to explain.
So he knows then. He had to explain to the judge how the $5,000 broke down. Line by line. Can you recite that for us, Phil? Can you reenact it? Can you actually tell us about how the money's broken down?
No idea what live streaming is. The entire concept of being a live streamer and showing every single expense and line item and rationalizing what it was to my business. This is this, right?
Also, can we just clarify? So there he says, right? He says like, oh, the 5K a month business expenses, they go to like paying bills, paying taxes. You can't pay taxes with business expenses, can you? Does it work differently in America? Can you really pay taxes through a business expense? Is that how it works? I'll just pay all my income tax through my business expense. I'll pay all my national insurance through fucking business expense. Like, does it work like that? Is that legal?
And it took so much work. At the end of the day, after all that extra work and time and money that had to be put into my bankruptcy, it went through. The judge understood. I showed them everything. If anyone should see line item by line item what my business expenses are, it should probably be the judge.
And that's right. That's right. So the judge, right? This judge said paying your taxes through a 5K a month stipend business expense, that's legal. The judge was in pignosis. Judge got fucking Jedi mind tricked by Phil. And the judge signed off on the fact that Phil's allowed to pay fucking all of the taxes for his business on his own income. Pay all that through 5K a month business expenses that he claims straight out of the business. I mean, that's the true power of this king, isn't it? Wear your crown, Phil. The laws of humanity don't apply to him. Maybe he is only answerable to God. Maybe he's correct.
Who's going to make a ruling on if I should be granted bankruptcy or not, right? That's the government, a government representative, correct? They saw it all. They went through all of it, and at the end of the day, they said, this all makes sense, approved.
Amazing.
So
they went through all of it. They said it all makes sense, approved. Approved. This all makes sense. I'm a boomer judge. I ain't got long left to live. I've never dealt with a bankruptcy like this. I've never been trolled by all these detractors before. I didn't even know what live streaming was until you walked into this room. You know what, Phil? Your pignosis explanations where you broke down the fucking 5K a month in business expenses and all this shit, the itemized list where you go through it line by line. You know what, Phil? Approved.
Probably be the judge who's going to make a ruling on if I should be granted bankruptcy or not, right? That's the government, a government representative, correct? They saw it all.
They saw it all.
All of it, and at the end of the day, they said, this all makes sense, approved.
This all makes sense, approved.
But in the vast majority of time, winners in bankruptcy experience some sort of relief, right? Whatever the debt is that you were paying.
Judge went through a fucking job competency hearing after this trial. After this bankruptcy, the judge was presented with either mandatory redundancy retirement or a job reevaluation. Performance management.
Right. So why do you feel... why do you have to go back to the well, going back to your audience, and ask your audience to crowd
greedy pig
content?
Because it's dark side Phil.
And you still say that nothing has really changed financially for you.
Great question.
Great question. Let me not answer it and attempt to pignosis this one. Great question.
This is one of the ones I get hit with every day. We just talked about 2021 and what happened with Twitch. Okay, so the bankruptcy goes through around mid to late 2020. I'm relieved of all this revolving debt that I had in my name. But there's still debt that remains. There's still my mortgage. There's still my car payment. There's still taxes. Taxes is a big thing because for years there I was not able to pay my federal taxes properly.
Whoa. For years, he wasn't paying his taxes. For years and years and years, he wasn't paying his federal taxes. That's an admission, Phil. That's an admission, bro. Able to pay WWE champions, not able to pay your own taxes.
It's a big thing because for years there I was not able to pay my federal taxes properly.
Able to pay fucking DoorDash, not able to pay your taxes. Able to buy every fucking single AAA game that's ever released under the sun and stream it for 6 hours a day, unable to pay your taxes. Able to hire a tax accountant to hide your taxes, to hide what you should be paying, not able to fully pay your taxes.
Well, you couldn't pay them, or you didn't prepare to pay them properly.
But the reality is he had the money, Craig, but he spent the tax money. He spent the tax money on WWE champions.
Correct. To file the taxes.
Because I think the one thing that people need to understand is that you are acting as an independent contractor with YouTube and Twitch and whoever, right? So when you're paid, when somebody gives you $1 super chat...
That's right, the true antediluvian king. The one thing the antediluvian kings, if there's one tenet to keep with you in life, one tenet to take away from the sector and apply it to your own life, the antediluvian kings all used to say taxation is theft, and not one of them practiced that tenet more strongly than Phil. Taxation is theft. Say it with me, folks.
Takes 30% of that, right? And then so you get 70%. That 70% then needs to be taxed by Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam comes in and they take however much of that. So by the end of it, you could be getting anywhere between 50 cents of that or 35 cents of that, depending on what your revenue is for the year, and you're the tax brackets here. It sounds like, Bill, that you didn't necessarily plan accordingly for that, and you didn't save your money to ultimately pay. And if you have a tax person to do this, a CPA, which is for any online creator, that's like the number one expense is
nervous chin scratches.
Your taxes. That's the number one thing, because going through and that's extremely important. But
I want to say it was Halo Reach at the time.
Like, has your tax person ever came to you and said, "Hey, you should probably prepay your taxes. You should be paying quarterly instead of having one big lump sum at the end of the year"? Because that just seems.
Oh yeah, that's correct.
Really irresponsible. For
that's correct.
Who works online?
But why do that when it's all your money anyway? Why do it? Why plan, prepare, save to pay those taxes when you don't even acknowledge that the money's there to be paying taxes? The money's purely there for your own avarice and greed and gluttony and WWE champions.
And has done so for 17 years, to have a tax person who hasn't suggested that and haven't had you prepay.
Do not please. That my tax guy is great.
Okay.
He I have an estimate of what I should be paying, not even quarterly, monthly. Like basically, can I make this monthly payment? And some months I can easily make it no problem, and other months I can't. I have to pay less, depending on the income that I
mean, how lucky is Phil, right? How fucking lucky can Phil be? He's got like the best tax attorney in the fucking world. Not only that, but the judge. He got so lucky with this fucking judge, right? That the judge didn't even think or want to go any further probing the fucking $5,000 a month on business expenses. He managed to pignosize the judge so much that the judge was like, fuck, let's just make this over as fast as it possibly can. Approved. Look, this is, you don't understand this. Ralph A-log peasants who want to drink his blood. You don't understand that a true king of the sector that you can all rally around and make great content on has no half measures. Defies the laws of logic and the laws of man and manages to bounce back. Phil's going to outlive the fucking apocalypse. Bomb could fall on Phil's fucking house, he'd be earning fucking $1 120 a year. Grand. 120 G's a year. Nuclear apocalypse. We're all in the fucking fallout. Nuclear winter upon us. Phil's out there, 120 a year. Still with the panhandle. Feast with the king. It's a React event. Unstoppable. Undefeated.
Your tax for
That bell
month
has
is
not
based
been
on
heard,
your
Your
quarter,
Honor.
and your year is based off of the revenue that you're making that month. So if you make $10,000 that month, then you're gonna be, then you prepay whatever $2,000 in taxes, whatever, however much it is, right? So the money is already in your account. So why would you have trouble spending? Why would you have trouble with that? I'm really having a hard time following this, because if you have the money, it's either being spent before it's time to pay taxes, or I don't know. I don't know. Please walk me through it.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I have two revenue streams.
Whoa boy.
One revenue stream is very much.
I want to say it was Halo Reach at the time.
That I get from my viewers.
Murderbot 5000.
Okay, that's pretty much tips on a stream. The other revenue stream is the other income that I get from YouTube. That's ad revenue, super chats, memberships, and all of that. Okay. Daily I get tips, and that essentially is the money that I'm using day to day to pay some bills, go grocery shopping, buy a new game for the stream coming up, all that kind of stuff. The YouTube money that comes in behind the scenes is what I use to do all my ongoing recurring payments, my mortgage, my car.
No mention of WWE champions.
Here's what's happening, okay? The bankruptcy happens. Great. End of 2020, things are looking up. I'm actually getting more popular on Twitch.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine, folks? You filed for bankruptcy. For many people, that's like a life-changing event where many people would genuinely consider an overdose or a suicide or doing a flip. People would genuinely be like, this is it now. My life is over and I've really got to try and rebuild. For Phil, it was like, great, yes. All sorted. All good. Bankruptcy happened, great.
Here's what's happening, okay? The bankruptcy happens. Great.
Great.
2020.
Great.
I'm actually getting more popular on Twitch. I'm starting to make good money.
Fresh loans, fresh credit. You better believe it.
My audience in early 2021. Hey guys, guess what? There's a light at the end of the tunnel. You guys are supporting me so much. The bankruptcy went through. It's looking like if you keep this going this year, not only for the first year in many years, because now the bankruptcy's over with. Now I can pay all my taxes properly for the first time in a long time. Because my problem is you have that much debt and everything. I couldn't do it. It was my fault. I was financial ruin. All right, 2021 things are looking.
Now here's the question, chat, and it's 1 for yes, 2 for no. Is current year Phil paying his taxes properly? Do we believe him? 1, is he a lying fucking hack fraud? Leopard will never change his spots. Antediluvian King. 2. There's just a sea of ones. No one's saying. There's a sea of 2s, sorry. No one's saying that he's paying his taxes. It's tough. It's tough, Phil. No one's buying the pignosis.
Then what happens? They get me kicked out of the Twitch Partner Program. They shut down other revenue streams for me that I can't really talk about. Later on that year, identity theft, which we might not get today. I don't want to talk about that. That's a huge one. Identity
You clearly
theft,
want to talk about it.
And we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. It cost me so much money to fix the identity theft.
Identity theft. I don't want to talk about the identity theft. Stop bringing it up. But I keep dropping the identity theft. Someone stole my identity and spent it all on WD Champions and DoorDash. Someone stole my identity and started doing React events and feasting with the King of Hate. Someone stole my identity and started wearing my skin. Like, Phil. Arms outsplayed. On the cross. Phil Ellugs go hard? Yeah, that's right. The Ralph A logs are in the fucking nursery compared to the Phil A logs.
I have to go to YouTube. I'm making way less money on YouTube now than I was on Twitch. All that
Making way less money on YouTube now. Guy makes 120 a year. 120k a year. Phil rake it in. Is he about to fake cry? Is he about to fake cry, ladies and gentlemen?
that money that was going to make everything even. I'm good to go now. It's gone again. I'm way reduced income again. So you're right. As a judge, now nothing else adjusted. My mortgage still exists. My car still exists. All those regular expenses still exist, and now I'm making way less. So, this is
Basically on the bread line.
I hate this shit.
Poverty.
Every time in life I feel like I'm getting ahead, something happens and screws me over. I'm serious. It's like a comedy of errors. It's
Comedy of errors.
Then
The bank leaks were
remove all that
identity
shit
theft.
and just do something different. I'm not telling you what to do, but like if you keep running into a wall, eventually you need to take a different direction, right? And like I love that you love what you're doing right now, but if you're still struggling with this so immensely, at a certain point, don't you need to like self-reflect and say like, look, man, I'm running into this wall fucking 5 times. I should probably not be doing this or change my approach to it.
I hear you.
I hear you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. About changing it, not people holding
Let me
it.
tell this story again about my mum. My number one detractor.
I hear you. And like I said, I had that conversation with my mom in 2019 about changing it, not people holding the people, do something different with my life. I mean, yeah, let's be honest. A major factor is money. Have to be honest here, right? That's what this is about. I'm going to be transparent.
Major factor. It sounds like
It's the biggest factor.
I mean, it sounds like you're
the only
spending
factor.
the money as it coming in instead of saving and preparing for the next month, where it might not be as profitable. So that you could be like, I'm saving. Maybe I'm not going to buy that new game. Maybe even though it's probably a write-off because you're doing it for business, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It seems like you just gotta start saving money. Maybe be a little smarter for the future. I mean, I'm not trying to like lecture you.
No, you're
money,
right.
But
You were
it
right.
seems like you.
You're right.
you need
I'm a
to-
fallible, flawed human being. I answer only to God.
Yeah, I need what I need. And I've said this before. I'll just say that.
Sure, Phil.
I need like a year, and here's what I mean by that. I need 1 year to make content and not have my trolls fuck with my income.
It's never gonna happen.
I agree
Never.
with you. I now agree with you. I know that now. But that's what's happened is every time something happens.
The only way this can all be right if no one on the internet hates Darkside Phil. Everyone since 2008 just dies. Everyone who hates Phil that's been around since 2008, the only way that can happen is if a great Holocaust occurs and people just are executed. Millions and millions of people who laugh at Phil just need to die. That's the only way this can happen, to give him a clean year, to get it all sorted.
Come again. Well, wait, here we go. I worked my ass off. I changed who I am. I'm a different kind of content creator. All the things that they had issue with me. This is why they do it to me, right there. We don't like Phil for this. Okay, I'll change all of that. No, still do it anyway. Ruin his income.
So why change? Why change?
Guy's got a ruined income, makes 120 grand a year. 5 grand business expenses that go on WWE champions.
What's the point? It's not doing anything. Why wouldn't you just stay the person that you were? Change. What's the point? It's not doing anything. Why?
The nose is exposed. I am somewhat trepidatious. Shut the door! Shut the door! It was an ammo box that fell on me head. Shut the door! The nose has been exposed. Well, the thing is, Gator, I'm somewhat trepidatious about doing a stream with Pay, a person who at any time might display his anus.
Why wouldn't you just stay the person that you were and that you are or whatever, instead of like trying to like adhere to people on the internet?
The
People on the
ants.
internet are gonna hate. The haters are gonna hate. Like, who fucking cares? So what's the point?
Haters gonna hate. That brings us to where we need to be honest. Yeah, we've just caught up. So bear with me, folks.
It's not doing anything. Why wouldn't you just stay the person that you were and that you are or whatever, instead of like trying to like adhere to people on the internet? Because the people on the internet are gonna hate. The haters are gonna hate. Like, who fucking cares? So what's the point? You're doing it for nothing.
I agree. I understand what you're saying. At the same time, I feel like the changes have been very productive. I like I
worth trying. So you're putting yourself. In this hamster wheel that Craig was mentioning earlier. It's just like there's no option. This is it. So I have to grind. I have to do this. And like that sounds miserable to me. Even though you say you're having fun, it seems like you're just trying to convince yourself that instead of actually it might be true. It might be true. But these two things could be true also. I'm pointing that out what I'm seeing.
And I'd just like to kind of continue on with that, right? You have a business plan. Do you have what it looks like what your business looks like in a month from now? Do you have a business plan for a year from now?
He's got a 20-year plan just like Sargon. You better fucking believe it.
Saving money because it doesn't sound.
It's the Illuminati Freemason head scratches. He's sending out codes and signals to his tax accountant. Save me from these questions. It's a signal. It's not a bat signal. It's the DSP signal.
Like you are, because just based off what you're saying, and it very much sounds like you're going to be doing this when you're 60, right? And
yeah,
and
I'm an antediluvian king. I ain't heard no bell. I'll be doing this till I'm 60, 70, 80, till I'm dead.
60, that's fine, but this doesn't seem very forward thinking.
Correct.
You seem like you're living day to day as opposed to thinking about long term.
Guy lives day to day, like holy fuck.
Dude, you're 40 years old, and at a certain point, you got to look at things and say, like, well, do I want to be doing this? Like, will I ever have enough money to retire? Will I ever have enough money to not do this? So walk me through that. Walk us through that. The idea of, like, and it's okay to say you don't have a business plan. It's okay. It's like we're putting it all on the table here, Phil. And if you don't, that's fine.
It's all on the table,
just
Phil.
walk me through it, man.
I'm a beg till I die.
Do I have a business plan? No. Have I had business plans in the past? Yes. And every single one of them has been destroyed by my income over and over. To have a plan, a long-term plan, you have to know at least what the stability is going to be today.
Whoa.
Depend on a little bit of that stability. And it sucks. Like,
How about you mitigate any pitfalls in that business plan, the instability, by having reserves, by saving a bit of the money that you're making? Having some reserves in the business that will then tide you over when times are tough, Phil.
YouTube, Twitch, any kind of online content creation is a constantly fluctuating thing. Tomorrow, everything could be turned off for all of us. We can't even stream, right? We all do law.
World could end.
We can't do it anymore.
World could literally end. Sky could fall and it could all be over.
An offline job, right?
Who needs a business plan? Who needs to pay taxes?
How can I lay out a business plan when every month is different? When it looks like there's consistency to my life. Oh, here's what I'm making every month. That's exactly what was happening in 2021.
Phil has the most consistent life I've ever seen another man live. Guy, for the past 15 years, since 2008, has literally just... we're waiting on a Gantt chart for one of the... The Gantt chart has appeared. Gantt chart has appeared. Phil says there's no consistency in his life. He can't do a business plan. This is the Gantt chart that an Elite Samurai has made. This is the day in Phil's life. The most consistent, never-changing day in his life. So he has... they've given him an hour here just to wake up, just to get out of bed. So 8 till 9 he gets up. Getting ready is another hour. He overlaps the getting ready with office, walking to the office. That's a half hour. That's an hour, in fact. That's 9:30 till 10. 10:30. Then he does his first stream. That takes up, what's that, an hour and a half? 1 hour. 1 hour first stream. Gameplay, the podcast. Look at this shit. This is the most reliable, consistent life pattern and working schedule I've ever seen. This is the identified gap in between all of the time that's accounted for in the typical day in the life of DSP. Hour with wife has an asterisk that it might not happen. The 30-minute gap. 30-minute gap, we know what that 30-minute gap revolves around. I'm going to show you what the 30-minute gap is, folks. 30-minute gap. There's no consistency to my day. I don't know where things are from one day to the next. I'm Dark Side Phil. I don't need to plan for the future or pay my taxes. World could end, the sky could fall. Is it going to let me play this? This is the 30-minute gap that the Neat Samurai on the Gantt chart has identified. 30-minute gap in between hour with wife and back on stream. 30-minute gap. 30-minute gap time. What's going on? The Johnny-come-latelys ask. Where's Ethan Ralph? The faggots cry. What could this be? What's he showing us? This 30-minute gap? He's just scratching his leg, they say. Surely it's not DSP Gaming caught live masturbating in front of his subscribers. Surely not. Surely the 30-minute gap can't be accounted for like this. Please stand by. And you see his O face. Surely it's not DSP masturbating on camera. He's just scratching his leg, bros. Who needs an hour with the wife? O-face moment. DSP O-face moment. "30-minute gap. Caught in the act." There we go. Thanks for doing the Gantt chart, bro.
Series of months, like the first 3 months, 4 months of the year, things were going great. I had a business plan. Here's what I want to do. Let's do this for a certain amount of years. Let's expand. Let's improve the setup. Let's try new things. Let's do this. And then if it keeps going, you get to the next stage of the business plan, right? And what happens? I lose my partnership, identity theft, income's destroyed. Now what do I do? Business plan's gone. So how can I set a plan when these people won't allow me to even have any level of stability in my life, or even a few months?
You know what you do?
Stuff that they're doing.
You make another business plan. You move forward. That's what you do.
Correct.
Like any
Yeah,
I mean,
correct.
What choice do you
I
have?
acknowledge that,
Right.
but I'm
The
a
only
piece of
choice
shit.
is to make moving forward.
I
Like,
agree.
Like,
I will not be beaten by these people. You know,
it's not, it's what you.
Their hatred fuels me. I will not hear that bell.
No,
You have been
absolutely
over and
not.
over again.
One of the
I'm
major
letting you
things-
know. I'm letting you know what you what you just finished with. You know, I had a business. He asked what your business plan is. He was like, I had a business plan, but they kept shitting all over it. Like that was your response instead of this is my business plan.
Rise up.
You don't have a
Rise up,
future
soy
vision.
faggot.
I think that's what
Oh,
Craig
I
was
do.
going
Okay,
for.
okay. I spoke. I do have a future vision. The problem is, if I fully explain it, they're going to try to ruin it.
They will ruin it.
Good answer. That's a good answer.
I should have said that. I'm sorry about that. Like, do I have an idea? Of
It
what
took
I'd like to
15
do?
minutes
Yeah.
of mental
I know
gymnastics to
exactly.
arrive on that
I
one.
have steps in place to know exactly what I can do to try to fix my situation. I don't want to
That
listen.
sounds good.
I don't want to be here on stream every day saying to people, toss me a few bucks. Oh my God, that's the worst feeling every time I effing do it. I don't want to say, hey, hit me, do this. That's obnoxious. I just want to play games and chill with my audience.
He just wants to play games and chill with his audience. Based. Based Antediluvian King, Dark Side Phil. It doesn't really get better than that, does it? It don't really get better than that, folks.
Well, guys, I drank, I peed. It's time to go home. Did till his eyes and knuckles both turn white. Flat jacks himself off at night to shoulder con, watching pegging all the boys behind.
Glory hole left the farm.
Come and film my booty, baby, watch some show, some cops, I want to listen, want to feel my foot, to feel some chicken, have a fingers on the good, to watch it, so the brother boy, want to shoot the gun.
She must have been fake by Roxanne.
Just in my dreams, but it's over now. They called you out in my stream, and they found out somehow that I'm just a fruit cake. No one cares anyhow that my girlfriend was fake, and I'm just a locale.
Fleshlight by Pediment Flamadelic. BYOB Bring Your Own Baby by Fister Sledge. Little Boys by Flamco Banco. Internet Sex Crime by Eurythmics. Where Is My Mind? Parentheses thinking about Shoda, The Dixies. In My Ass Tonight by Phil Collins. And of course, the Penis Alana song.
I was tired of my hentai. I'd been watching too long. I needed some new material for stimulating my schlong. So after Ethan Ralph fired me,
True.
I had to find some new porn.
Joshua Clayton Connor is a pedophile.
Wanted to polish my horn. If you like teenager cum shots and getting caught in the face, if you're huge into Shoda and you don't have a brain,
Real quiet now, Flam.
if you like
Real quiet now, faggot. I'm not a gay pedophile.
And Flam even sings one for himself. For that special...
Here we go. This is a Flam very own. One he sang his own contribution to Flamorama.
What the reason is, I only smile when I lie, and that's all the time. Because my fist, your fist, between my hips. Because your fist, I must insist. Because your fist is what you twist when you're in my behind. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Because your fist.
You enjoying the show, Flamenco?
Because your fist.
Hope you're enjoying it, pedophile.
Because your fist makes my eyes mist when you're sensory blind.
Because we ain't forgotten about you. No matter what Phil does, you're still a pedophile.
In the Keepstar Street, he cried, I'm normal. With a shrilly voice, he cried, I'm normal. In the Keepstar Stream, with PP.
We all know what's in those fucking sealed court documents, don't we now, Flam? Because in the leaked Chudblood DMs, you confirmed that you'd fisted your sister, Flam. So, allow me to go back to my normal programming.
The funny part that my detractors will never mention, before my income kept getting screwed over all these different times by them and by my choices. Not just them, it's also my bad choices that did this. I never had any kind of crowdfunding. It was always just Phil's making a living on YouTube via ad revenue. I had no
Bullshit.
sponsors. I didn't take any
Literally
money.
had a panhandle in his hand since 2008.
Everyone else was.
Begging for donos every single second of his streams.
Hurt by that, then I decided to do crowdfunding.
He took fucking PayPal donations in 2009. I remember, Phil. I remember, so you don't have to, Phil.
What's their number one critique of me? You beg too much. I wouldn't beg if you didn't keep messing with my income.
He wouldn't beg if you didn't keep forcing him to beg. Based.
Only reason I have to
That's
do it
weird.
is ruining my financial income. You keep ruining it for me. So
Beg-
how can I
begging-
have? Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Phil. Begging for money is never a good look for anyone.
Completely agree.
He completely agrees.
I can't dispute it.
He can't dispute it.
Okay, then...
But you ain't gonna get a leopard to change its spots.
The idea of, like, going on stream and
He
saying,
begs
I really
because
need
of the
help for these
detractors.
chats, I really need help for whatever. I got a big thing.
And this is where the stream gets real fucking gay, because they start popping up the super chats because they're faggots. But what I did want to show you is that Keen joins and some real fucking IBS takes place.
Anything else, who cares? But
also giving you advice. That's the way I saw it. Anyhow, after that incident took place, months went by, and this bothered me because I saw the solution the entire time, that Phil needed to do something different, all right? I am a person that recognizes entertainment. I really, really get it. You got to understand, Phil, you have haters, you have detractors, so do I, but I have more. I have more than...
I'm also a piece of shit, Phil.
DSP and Boogie combined. I have way more haters, but I'm still successful. And I still have new business opportunities, and I'm still making money. I was supposed to retire a year ago, and I'm still doing new stuff. And
now, the law between these two, Phil sees Keemstar as like the devil. He won't accept any blood money from Keem. He sees him as a real piece of shit that's below him on the fucking totem pole of faggotry. A complete insect. And look at the disgust on Phil's face as he has to interact with Keemstar.
Successful in this platform because I understand this business very, very well.
The head noddings carried them the whole way through.
You know, they are viewers. They are your customers. The detractors are your customers. The haters are your customers. And they're more loyal than the people that give you money, that donate on your stream. The people that hate you are way
that
more
you're talking
loyal.
about, that's like, you can't pay for that shit.
Shut the fuck up.
I mean, look at how many people are here. 2,500 people are here. It's just, it's you have a legitimate fan base. Those haters, those people that don't like you, are your fans. And I wanted to solve this issue for not just you, but Wings and Boogie. I looked at all of you guys, you're lolcows, right? You have more haters than, like, supporters, right? But really, they're all fans. They are all fans. They're all obsessed with you and watching your content nonstop. The solution really is to get the three of you to do a podcast.
Do Keem's podcast. Accept the blood money, DSP.
They're going to absolutely
Wings, Boogie are waiting.
These three guys have come together to make content. Now, between the three of you, you guys don't have the business sense to, like, really figure this out and make this thing actually happen. But I do. All right?
But they don't want you to claim any money off it. And the thing is, when Keemstar lines up Boogie, Wings of Redemption, and DSP all on one podcast, the reality is that those three scumbag antediluvian kings are all going to be wanting the lion's share of the money because they are the ones that bring the content. They ain't going to be splitting that three ways. Nuh-uh. Each one of them is going to say that the other person has slighted them in some way because they were counting every single dime that came in. DSP prefers the beg, the unlimited beg. I mean, the guy's on 120k a year. He wants 110% of any amount of money that rolls through on this bullshit podcast that Keemstar's trying to skim some money off of.
Even understand how valuable you are as individuals, as entertainers. Because you look at the numbers and you're looking at everything and like, oh, well, I've fallen off. And, you know, that's the mindset that you have, right? But I have a different mindset for each and one of you, that you guys are amazing entertainers, just not in the way that you want.
Phil's not even fucking listening.
Right? You're lolcows.
Phil's not listening at all.
By putting the three of you...
This guy's an insect to Phil.
You know, each one of you...
Subhuman, bottom-dwelling insect.
Right? We never got to have this conversation, so I do want to have it now, even though I know you're not going to do it.
It's taken 20 years for Keemstar and Phil to actually have this sit-down conversation. That's why Keemstar's so jacked up and ready and fucking doing this monologue, because he's had it on his tip of his tongue for 20 fucking years.
I would also own 25%. I would do the business aspect.
Yeah, he would skim you 25%.
Selling podcasts.
Listen to Phil's reaction. Look at Phil's reaction when Keemstar says that.
All right. I would also own 25%. I would do the business aspect of it. I've had many success selling podcasts.
Nuh-uh. That 25% needs to roll my way. Insect, faggot, scumbag.
To exclusive deals with Spotify and other companies.
Not even listening, Keem. You're wasting your breath.
All right. I wanted to put the three of you together for this show. I would do the business side of things. And I knew that...
I'll make you a star, Phil. Your name in lights, Phil.
You're like, I don't know if this is going to work, and you'd have a lot of doubts. So I was just going to take my own money and take $150,000. Give you...
You don't need your blood money, Keemstar.
I even filmed an episode for $50,000 up front to let you know that I was serious and I believe in this concept and this idea. Now, I call Boogie first. I instantly get on the phone with Boogie, all right? He loves the idea. He understands it. He gets it. He reaches out to Wings. Wings is down. And now it's time to talk to DSP. Boogie, the way I understand it, called you, contacted you, and told you what was going on, right?
He DM'd me on Twitter, and we had a brief conversation back and forth in DMs.
And he told you that.
The contempt with which he issues the response to
I had
Keemstar.
no idea that's what you were trying to contact me about because we never talked. But he said that there was this idea for a podcast, correct?
Correct.
So you did know.
So Boogie told you or didn't tell you?
Boogie told me that he and Wings had spoken to Keem, and that Keem wanted to do a podcast with all three of us. No money or anything was discussed. He just said, you know, he wants to do a podcast with all three of us. I didn't know that's what Keem was trying to reach out to me. I said maybe that's what it was. I didn't know because I never spoke with him.
Phil, hearing this and hearing the business opportunity.
Keem's hands.
Later, I don't even know if it's
Keem's just fucking already
what are your
checked out.
thoughts right now, given what Keem has said to you.
Thoughts? Like,
Yeah.
you mean?
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Keem's business proposition, Phil?
Feelings based on what Keemstar has laid out for you.
Berate the insect.
I have absolutely no problem doing anything with Boogie or Wings. In fact, you know, I had the conversation with Boogie back and forth a little bit more later in the year. Would he be interested in maybe doing a podcast with me, or maybe on his show or whatever? You know, whatever it may be. These guys, you know, I did a react about Wings last year about his documentary. You know, that me doing a collab with them, just doing a fun podcast, is not out of the question.
That's not out of the question. But what is out of the question is collaborating with the insect Keemstar, and Keemstar knows it. Keemstar's just been bodied. He's out. He's tapping out. It's tough. What is out of the question is accepting blood money from this insect. Sure, I'll frolic with the other kings of the antediluvian sector, but Keem ain't going to be getting his 25%. Based as fuck. Keem heard the bell.
His business principles.
Correct.
Okay. So, understand. So, even if there's an opportunity for you to remove yourself from quote unquote level, to potentially sell the podcast to something and put 50 grand in your pocket initially, that's a 100% no-go for you.
Oh, man. See, I didn't know you put me on the spot. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what we do. That's an
This is
interview.
This is a discussion that cannot be just made by me. It has to be made by my wife. You know, we have to talk about it because this was the discussion we had. You know, sorry, team. Can I criticize you fairly if I'm
Here we go.
And don't, you know, not
Can I crush you for the insect you really are, Keem? Keem's like, oh, fuck. Shit. Sorry, Keem! My rival is imminent. Sorry, Keem. I'm coming home, bitch.
Can I criticize? Talk about it because this was the discussion we had. Sorry, team. Can I criticize?
Sorry, Keem.
If I'm reasonable and don't, you know, not under the belt, can I?
Sorry.
Sure, you can say whatever you want about me.
Sure.
But I just want to represent.
Thing is, Keem, you're an insect, scum-sucking, bottom-feeding piece of shit, and I will not accept your blood money. That's the thoughts on Keem.
I feel about the situation. I'm not done, but go ahead.
Okay. So, team, you are someone who, when you look at your history on the internet, it's very interesting.
You're an
And
insect, Keem.
Damn, I'm impressed with what you've done. You know what
I'm gonna give you a
I
compliment
posted on Twitter
sandwich.
about you last year. You started off trolling people in Halo. I mean, holy shit. And you turned that into an empire of money on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's so admirable. And if anything, one of the
It's
things you
admirable.
absolutely need to be praised for is your determination.
But you're still an insect. And your money ain't good enough to spend on WWE champions.
Requests, all kinds of shit. People wanted you off the net, right? You're still there. You never gave up. Damn, that's a success story.
Phil, it sounds familiar, dude.
Yeah.
I guess.
It literally sounds like you.
I don't
It's
really
true.
feel that
We just heard your story, and it is. Craig's absolutely right.
Okay. Now, at the end of the day, all right, when you look at what Keem has done and what I have done, I'll probably be forgotten. I'll just be a fart in the wind, right?
Fart in the wind. That's the legacy.
No one's going to remember remember Darkside Phil besides the guy who jerked off on stream. And, probably this WWE Champions thing will go away eventually.
It will never go away.
But Keem, has a big body of work. He's known. But when you look at how Keem...
Say it. Say he's an insect. Drink his blood.
I'm going off documentaries and things I've seen. I mean, Keem, you have to openly admit that there were a lot of things that you've done that you probably have no issue with whatsoever. You always feel from your perspective, because there's always two perspectives on everything, right?
Holy shit, Phil. I gotta say, this is fucking rich coming from you right now, though.
Yeah,
Look at this soy faggot trying to intervene on the fucking Darkside Phil's Keem curb stomp. You're a soy filled bitch. Allow the true antediluvian king of the sector to deliver the final blow. Keem knows it's a coming. Keem knows it's a coming. So, you shut the fuck up. This is a conversation between two scumbags on the internet. Antediluvian kings with lot of history and legacy between them and behind them. It's not for you, Johnny-come-lately faggots. Not for fucking Nick Cage, who overdid the fake tan. And it's not for this guy who's like just a complete waste of skin to chime in on.
From the detractors that Keem has... And that's where you're basing this on. When this whole episode, you have been talking about how much shit your detractors have made other people think about
you absolute faggot.
Do you hear yourself right now?
Imagine he's just intervened on DSP's curb stomp.
That's how YouTube works, man. That's how all this works, right?
Fuck, man.
You're right. So, from what I've heard and seen about Keem, I call
Keem is an insect.
All right, Keem, on a day when you have a good day, it's because someone else is having a bad day.
Yeah.
Someone else has drama going on. Someone else has horrible things happening in their life.
Preach it.
It's your good day, man. It's time for you to blow that up, and then you interject like a shoe wedge. Get into that life. Get into that drama, right? You got to be a part of it. And now, get them on your show so that you can pull this out to be not just a one-time thing, but now it's going to be pulled on for weeks and weeks. If there's something,
Phil, do you know that
he's like, what have I become? DSP is right. The diagnosis from Phil is correct. Keem's fucking contemplating ending it all. Because he knows he's right. He's not even listening to this soy-filled faggot trying to be his champion, trying to simp for him. He's just taking it all in. Keem is tabled.
But
Keem!
Do you know the internet at all?
Yes, I do.
Do you see who's successful on the internet? I mean, yeah,
Let the king speak.
If I talk shit on people.
Let him curb stomp the insect.
I do what I can because that's just
This is not your time to speak.
You can't be upset when people use
Faggot.
the algorithms for their advantage.
Stupid, jealous guy. Man, I feel like I'm putting out content that's not harmful to anyone. I'm just doing gameplay. I'm dicking around on the internet here with my viewers, and this guy gets over and he's doing this drama content. People are saying it's hurtful. You're right. At the same time, everyone has what's called a moral compass, correct? And I've been talking about this.
This is tough.
Recently.
This is tough for Keem. This is some tough shit.
Raised a Roman Catholic. All right. I'm not religious anymore.
I'm not religious anymore, but I answer to God.
An excuse, but I grew up with certain morals, all right, and values. And to me, if the only way that I can get over on the internet and get just get over in life is by stepping on other people, I'm not going to step on those people. I would rather be.
I don't think that's what.
I'd rather be Darkside Phil than an insect. And Keem knows it. Keem knows it. That's some tough shit. Dark Lord of the Internet, Keemstar. Bodied. He ain't breathing, folks. He's a done. And this is what we're after.
People think learning piano takes a really long time, but that's false. Here's how long it really takes with this new method.
Yeah, okay. Poor Keemstar.
I've been talking about this on my streams recently. I was raised a Roman Catholic. All right, I'm not religious anymore. So this is not like an excuse. But I grew up with certain morals. to me, the only way that I can get over on the internet and get over, just get over in life, is by stepping on other people. I'm not going to step on other people. I would rather be.
I don't think that's what Keem's doing.
Shut up, Keem Simp.
You know, I
Shut the fuck up.
D-Day Cobra, shout out to him. I saw him in chat room. Fucking, care and shit about this. I mean,
Look at him trying to inject himself.
People's misery, right? Because the way I understand it, how you're explaining it is like
Keem's crying. Cream's been fully assessed. Phil ain't heard no bell. Phil ain't reacting to Keem's lectures on his life with any sort of sense of taking it in.
On my platform, or you had the fappening, right? And I covered the story on my platform, but I'm making money off of other people's downfalls, right? That's the way you see it. Well, there's people on YouTube that run documentaries on important things that happen on the internet. They're also
Insect got squashed.
They're making money.
Phil is leagues and leagues and leagues ahead of Keemstar. No matter what Phil does, no matter where Phil falls, he's still Darkside Phil. And no amount of Keemstar's blood money, Keemstar's assessment of how he's going to take 25% on how to run Phil's business, is going to get Phil to change his ways. Guy's an antediluvian king of the old school. And like all antediluvian kings, no matter how far or high Keemstar rises, he will always be an insect drama whore reply girl. Always. Even if Keemstar makes about 2 million a day, he will always be an insect. Compared to not just Phil, but to Acer, to War Corpse, to Emma, rest his soul, to Blackface Kermit, Armor 21, rest his soul. Just keep that in mind. All of these faggots hate Keem. All of these faggots assessed him for who he was back in the day. And don't get distracted by the trinkets. Jim got distracted by Keem's trinkets. But the true kings just see this for a pretense. A facade. Because Keem is a fucking insect.
Cases where you've actually staged stuff and extrapolated drama in situations where it didn't really exist. There's evidence of this.
Explain that.
Yeah, explain that. Explain what you mean by this. Well, how about that time when Keemstar called an old man that was Twitch streaming online and just having a good time before he died? How about that time he sent everyone round to swat the guy, called him a pedophile, said that he was someone he completely wasn't, and drove the man into an earlier grave than he would have had otherwise? How about that time, you fucking soy-filled bitch?
Yeah, tell me more.
Tell me more.
The documentary I watched last year about June the King made this one. And I guess there was a situation with a YouTuber. And
Thing is, Keemstar don't even need to hear his crimes. Because he's reliving them all now. He's reliving every fucking person he swatted and murdered. The empire of dirt that he sits with on. I mean, next to Keemstar, Darkside Phil's a fucking saint.
A Minecraft YouTuber, another YouTuber, and originally he appeared supposedly as an upfront, honest guest on Keemstar's show covering this drama. I think it was allegations that he had been with underage girls or something like that. Okay, come to find out later on, the whole, or at least part of it, was orchestrated between the two behind the scenes. Like, I guess he wanted to get back at someone, his ex or his current girlfriend, and Keem participated in that setup situation.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't recall.
Legit.
I do not recall Keemstar. But yeah, no, that's the Darkside Phil interview. There's 5 hours. I think we did about 3 hours of it. But there's 5 hours. The blood sports between them certainly heats up. I'm going to play us out. I'm going to watch some Mauler on Shazam, Fury of the Gods. No, I'm not. But that's the DSP show. DSP's back in town. DSP's streaming right now as we speak. He's going to be going live with Review Tech USA for like an interview or some shit tonight. That's what I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching, and if it's good enough, I'll cover it as well. Because the real king is back. And we don't need the fucking full sidles to run round on and go, oh, he pooped his pants or he fucking fell off a chair. After this is crazy. Bling, blong, bling, bling. For $400 says this. I'm going to play us out.
Hello, everybody. It's Dark Side Film. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill. Stupid fucking trolls, man. I just want to chill. I rock back and forth on the X and Y axis. Tip me. So I could catch up on back taxes, making more stacks, refunding chargebacks, and my lab sells like after. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bit bitch. Raise your hands in the air. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bit bitch. Raise your hands in the air. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really that money. That money. I want to have chill stream. No detractors.
My favourite part of this song.
WWE. Relax and chill session. Street Fighter 3. Yeah, my vibe back from 2017. 50 bitch here. 50 bitch there. 50 bit bitch. Raise your hands in the air. 50 bitch here. 50 bitch there. 50 bit bitch. Raise your hands in the air. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money.
Juice!